to stay.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond Boards, a podcast dedicated to the actions and interests of skaters beyond skateboarding. My guest today, Jesus Fernandez, grew up in Madrid, Spain, and started skating in the late 80s. In 1995, he settled down in Los Angeles with his brother Alphonso and their good friend Dani Lebron to pursue their dream of becoming sponsored skaters. In the following years, Jesus went back and forth between California and Spain, turned pro for neighborhood skateboards, but eventually joined the chocolate team after meeting and skating with Chico Brenes. He eventually went back to Spain and kept skating for Chocolate and Lakai, filming iconic video parts for Yeah Right, Fully Flared, Pretty Sweet, The Flare, and more recently Bunny Hop. At 46 years old, Jesus is now living in Copenhagen with his wife and 2 kids and shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. So here's my conversation with Jesus. I hope you'll enjoy it. Yeah, so I usually start these episodes with the basic question, with my guests about how they started skating. So you grew up in Madrid, and I think that's where you started skating. I'm not sure exactly what year. It was probably late 80s, around there. Can you tell me about picking up your first board? I read somewhere that you saw some neighbors skating one day, and that kind of gave you the idea to start skating yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. It will be around 89 or something like that. The first time my brother and I really decided to start skating with a real pro board or whatever, like a regular skateboard, like a good skateboard,
legit
right?
board. Yeah.
That would be around 88 or 89. But before that, I always liked skateboards,
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted a skateboard even before that, maybe in 85. I asked my mom to buy me one, but she wouldn't. She thought it was dangerous, and she worked at a hospital, and he'd tell me all these stories about, oh my God, this kid came to the hospital with no fingers. His fingers was under the wheels and this and that, and but I was always impressed, about seeing just a skateboard, like a penny yellow skateboard with black wheels, I always wanted one, but my mom wouldn't buy me one,
She was scared that you would get hurt and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, then I have these older neighbors, Esteban Velarde and Frank Trujillo. These guys, I really look up to them. I didn't know them at first, but I will see them around, in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And they were definitely different than everybody else, everybody else was just doing maybe football, soccer.
Yeah.
But those guys were different, They were older, so I really look up to them. But I wouldn't talk to them at first, because
it was intimidating to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they would talk back to me or nothing. So I was, I had a lot of respect for them, because they were older. But they were definitely different. Oh my God, these guys, their clothes and I don't know. It caught my attention a lot.
You mentioned your brother. Was it your older brother with whom you started skating? Alfonso, right?
Yeah, we started at the same time.
Okay. Because you have also a younger brother, but I'm not sure if he started skating as well. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he started later on, really, really late, actually. But, and maybe he started in a year in between, and for a couple of months, then he stopped, and then he started again later and kept skating until he stopped now or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you remember maybe the first magazine and the first video that you watched? Was that very early on, or did that come only a bit later after you started skating?
No. It's actually at the same time. See, this is funny because my neighbors, again, Esteban and Fran, is related to this, how I started, and also the first video.
Okay.
Because I had a friend my age, Ruben, and my brother and I had a friend, right? And we didn't skate at first. We only, we do bad things like kids, like running around, being annoying, and and we like hip hop and breakdancing and all this, But it was the end of the breakdance, probably. I remember watching that movie Thrashing also before I even skate.
Yeah.
You know that one? And it was also breakdance there and stuff. And I was like, let's just watch this. We didn't know, but I also was like, whoa, skating is cool, That's not my first video, but that's one of the first time I also saw skating or something related to it,
Sure, yeah.
So we have this friend in common. It was actually my friend, my age, but my friend had older brothers and he was friends with Esteban and those guys. They were their crew, you know. So my friend Ruben had a VHS tape from Esteban somehow with a lot of hip hop videos, you know, like Run DMC and like some others I can't remember, you know.
Maybe Public Enemy, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Public Enemy was my first video, but only because it was at the end of those hip hop videos.
Okay.
So really at the end, I was like, okay, the MTV videos has finished. Then it was like a little gap, like in black, and then that started, you know, with the Powell skull coming out of the paper, you know. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And it was looking even better than the hip hop videos, you know, because it's also another kind of like musical video, you know. But it wasn't hip hop; it was this rock, right? Like Public Domain and all these broken TVs, you know, all that stuff, you know. So that was. I think that was our first video, actually.
Okay.
After that, it all come together, you know. It wasn't just that what it makes us like start skating, but maybe a big part of it. But it was a wave of like people starting to skate in school as well. Not too many though, but a few, you know. And then somebody from outside of town moved to Madrid and started in my brother's class. And he also was like, I skate too. And the other guy was gonna start skating too, like, you know, like everybody else probably, you know, when they start. So I have a group of friends starting to do the same thing together, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was the first video, Public Domain. And magazine, I didn't have any, I can't really remember that. Maybe that came later, but I do remember that a newspaper from Madrid, actually, called El País.
Oh, yeah.
Had an article, or maybe Blanco y Negro, which means black and white. Or maybe it's an article in El País. But El País is like a newspaper, you know, like LA Daily or something, you know.
Right, yeah, it's very famous, yes.
And it was an article there saying the fever, la fiebre del monopatín, the fever of skateboarding, you know?
Yes, right, yeah.
And it was Francisco, that guy from the Spanish distributor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It was
Who took you to the States, yes.
Yeah, that guy, Francisco.
Oh, interesting.
He was there and he had a photo, a nose peak in a quarter pipe with his truck really bent, you know, because of the pressure of the...
Yeah.
So that was actually nice. I remember hanging that picture in my wall also.
Before we talk about you going to the States and stuff, I just wanted to ask you about this era that you come from, you know, Spanish tech skating.
Yeah.
You're associated a lot with Dani Lebron and Javier Sarmiento, who are also like in the same realm, kind of super tech, but stylish skating. And you guys, I guess, are all around the same age. I'm not sure if you're from the same area in Spain or if you're from different cities. But I just wanted to ask you about like developing this style of skating, even though that must have come a bit later. You probably weren't doing Fakie hard flip nose grinds at 12 years old. I guess that came a bit later.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, tell me about like maybe meeting with these guys and starting to develop this style of skating.
Yeah, well, I guess, when we started skating, it was just like more grabs and, you know, like melon and all that. And like, but I always like technique. I always like it looks like magic, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially at the beginning, like, that's like magical, man, like flipping the board, you know, all that stuff. So I was always fan of that, but also everything. I like everything in general, like any type of skating.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why Javier, my brother, myself, Enrique Lorenzo as well. Spanish people in skating is known as technical, but it's actually not. It's a lot of type of skating in Spain as well.
Sure, yeah, of course.
But for some reason, somebody from Italy also told me like, your Spanish are the technicals, and but I don't think it's like that. But maybe the ones who make it, if you can say that, or like got sponsor, or were the technical skaters from Spain.
Yeah.
Or most of it, because we can also have Javier Mendizabal.
Yes,
which is
definitely.
technical as well, but it's more transition, you know?
Transition, exactly, yeah.
But there is like, there is a lot of type of skating in Spain, also a lot of transition in the north of Spain, and there is some really great transition skaters now. But yeah, we were just, I think it was the time, you know, when we came out also, not when we started skating, but by the time we came out there, you know, in the industry or the videos, the magazines, you had to be technical, man. There was not another I mean,
like
you can be less
way?
technical. Yeah, exactly. It was that time, you know.
What about meeting with Dani and Javier? Like, they've been long-time friends of yours, right? Did you meet them very early on, or?
Yeah, I knew about Javier before I meet him as well, because we have this 411 from Spain video magazine. It was called Crap.
It's called Crap, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man. So Javier was in one chapter, and he was from another town, and he was. I was related to him because it was like, oh, another guy like me, like young, you know, like. Mm-hmm. Or my age or whatever. He's actually younger, maybe 2 years younger. But yeah, he looked like my age, and he was really good and like surprisingly good, you know.
Yeah.
Natural talent. Javier's.
Yeah, he's a very, very good skater.
Yeah. When we talk about natural talent, I think Javier's is one of those, you know, natural talent.
Absolutely.
Like he don't put pressure or nothing on himself, you know. And but yeah, I knew about him, but I met him actually later. Here and there, you know, I saw. Maybe I met him more in the States actually than in Spain. But I knew him from Spain. I know he came to Madrid with some guys from France actually, but I can't really remember. It was a French magazine, or it was with the Cliché guys or something. I can't remember. But he was there, and we didn't even talk too much. But I was like, yeah, that was sick. Or he was skating switch in Madrid, in our place, in our Plaza Colón, you know.
Plaza Colón, yes.
Yeah, he was better than everybody else from the plaza, and he wasn't even from there, you know. Like switchback tail, I was like, motherfucker. Yeah, he was always good, man. Yeah.
What about Dani Lebron? How did you meet with him?
Dani, I met him before Javier, probably. I don't know about the year, maybe, let me think. It was after I went to LA for the first time with Francisco, so that could be 96. Actually, 96 or 97.
Okay.
It could be 95, but 96 for sure, yeah. He came to Colón. He came to Madrid to live there, but at first he just came. I was with Ruben Garcia, you know who that is?
Yep. He used to skate for DC, right?
Yeah, and he was the ambassador of European DC. I was just sitting down next to him in the fountain in Madrid, and he stand up, and it was like, oh my God, Alicanton. I was like, what the fuck who's that, Alicanton? It was Lebron, it was Dani, right? But he was like, he saw God or something, you know, like, it's amazing, he's coming. So I was like, who's that, you know? Then I met him, and yeah, he was cool. I was like, he was a really good skater, you know?
Yeah.
And came out of nowhere. He was always strong. Dani had like strong legs, like physically strong, you know, like now also, you know.
Yeah. He's still very good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had power when he skated, and he was definitely one of those guys that you see is good, you know, like he understands skating, and he learns quick, and he knows what's good. He has a like good taste of tricks, and
yeah.
So I met him, you know. I'm a little bit shy. I'm not super. Or actually, maybe yes. I don't know if I'm friendly from the beginning. Sometimes yes, it depends on the day, you know. But the first days I wouldn't talk too much to him. But then after a while, we just became really good friends. And hanging out every day. So he moved. He's from Alicante, like 3 hours away from Spain in the coast, and then south of Barcelona, then Valencia, then Alicante. You know, he's from there, but he moved to Madrid for good, to my neighborhood actually. But he didn't know because it was my neighborhood, because it was just a place near Colón as well. Okay. So we live in a triangle. Colón was going down, you know, and I live on the left. He will live on the right if you're coming from Colón, but in a triangle, you know. So we could meet in Colón, or I could go to his house. Actually, his house is my neighborhood as well. He was living in my neighborhood.
Okay. Was Madrid like the hotspot for skating in Spain at that time? Because like obviously Barcelona became like the skateboarding mecca for a long time, but I think that was like in the late 90s, early 2000s when that started. And at that time when you were skating with Dani and stuff at Plaza Colón, was Madrid kind of like the epicenter of skating in Spain, or?
No, I don't think so. It was one of them. It was one of the biggest places. Yeah, exactly. And but also Barcelona always. But it was more together back in the days. Like skaters from Barcelona will come to Madrid for a week and skate with us. I was younger, so they wouldn't skate with me, but I was just going there, you know.
Okay.
But they were like pros for us, people from Barcelona. What? Patrick de Roulette? Is that a French last name? De Roulette.
I'm not sure.
Maybe not. Patrick, he was a legend from Spain. Really good. He used to skate for Santa Cruz, so we thought he was pro for Santa Cruz, but maybe it was just like a floating thing, you know. But back in the days, we didn't know about floating. We didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
maybe it was not a word for it, so it was just he's in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And then it was Lee. I don't know his last name right now, but Asian Catalan guy Lee, super good also. And Enrique was a little kid.
Oh yes,
Lorenzo. So they will come to.
He's from Barcelona. Enrique?
He's from Barcelona. All those guys that I'm talking about, they're from Barcelona, and they came to Madrid. Yeah, but answering your question, yeah, Madrid was because we have this skate magazine, and I think it was from Madrid. So it was a lot of photos or sequence from Cologne. Maybe that could be one of my first magazines actually. Now it could probably be one of those and then translate later. But yeah, Madrid was one of the places, you know, of the Spanish skating scene. And Barcelona, and then a little bit of everywhere, you know.
And so those first few years of skating, were you skating a lot Plaza Colón and doing this kind of plaza skating and basically skating one spot and really trying to develop more technical tricks rather than, you know, spot hunting and trying to find like an original spot, but do maybe a more basic trick on somewhere a bit different? Like, did you start doing that kind of really tech skating early on, or did that develop later?
That developed later, but it was always a little bit like trying a trick until you get it. For learning, like when you learn kickflip, so like it's pretty similar to when I was learning the technical tricks, because it's really technical to even ollie. Ollie's super technical. Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's a basic for us now, but you know how many things you have to think to do an ollie? It
takes a long time to
when somebody starts
it.
And they want to do an ollie at first. Oh my god. But and the thing is, like, I started skating in my neighborhood, and I will see Esteban and those guys doing flat. They were sponsored by Sessions, Francisco, you know?
Oh yes.
It was called Sessions at the beginning, you know, the distribution and the shop.
Okay.
And Esteban and those guys were skating in front of my door because he lived next door. And we skate after school in my neighborhood in the church in front of the stairs. Mm-hmm. I remember the priest wouldn't like that. He would always kick that out. But we just skated like still tricks, you know, like blunt to people to like... Or fake
like
ollie to tail. Yeah, exactly. Fake ollie to tail. Not sliding. We didn't slide back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no speak to like 360 shove it, you know, in the back, like sort of, you know, those tricks.
Yeah.
So, but we knew Cologne was the Mecca, you know, like... Oh, it was intimidating to go there because you're gonna see like crazy people skating there, like Magba now or something, or like EMB, you know. Mm-hmm. So we skate in our neighborhood, but in the weekends maybe we should try to go there. And our neighbors were going there, and they were one of the best skaters there, if not the best ones, you know. But we wouldn't just be annoying. We wouldn't talk to them, like maybe a quick hi, you know, like hello, you know, like. Mm-hmm. But we also skate around our neighborhood and other areas with some 3 stairs and stuff like that. But we started going to Cologne more and more often and every weekend. And then we got to meet more people than Esteban and those guys and be more friends with them than our own neighbors, because they were more our age, but they knew also Esteban and them. And at the end we could also walk back to the house with Esteban talking about skating or talking about a lot of things. It's a long way to go. It's nice to go down because you skate down. Mm-hmm. It's downhill, but you have to walk back because you don't want to skate up the hill. Sometimes I did it. Yeah. But so
especially after a session of skating, your legs are kind of fried.
Yeah, exactly. But it was nice. A lot of learning from Esteban, you know, going back to the neighborhood, man. He transferred me a lot of things. You know, that information about skating and...
Yeah. He was an early inspiration.
Yeah, he used to go to San Francisco often, you know, with another guy, Rodrigo Rodriguez, another legend, man. Rodriguez. Crazy name, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was amazing. We have so many good skaters there. That's why I became good, if I can say that, because I have crazy talented people around me. Like really insane. Yeah. Like people don't know. I'm sure there is people like that in Paris, and it was people like that in everywhere, and they never came out officially professional or people knew about them. But there is so many good skaters that don't necessarily have to be pro, but they're amazing, you know.
Yeah, sure. That they didn't get the whole like pro career and the shine that they deserve, kind of.
Yeah, but they were better than others. Yeah, like those guys, Rodrigo, Esteban, Frank Trujillo, and Sergio Bernabeu. Oh my God, this guy, Sergio Bernabeu.
Mm-hmm.
We call him Nano. He was a legend. He's super talented, insane. I can't even describe it. He was too good. Ethan Fowler and everyone, when they came to Madrid, they wanted to put him in a stereo right away, but you have to be talented, but also you want it. So maybe he wasn't interested in going there and to the States and all that, you know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but he definitely was good enough.
Talking about that, like, tell me about this first time going to the States. Like, you've talked about it in other interviews. You mentioned Francisco a couple times. So he had this skate shop and this distribution company in Spain. I read somewhere that he was distributing like the Firm, maybe Chocolate and Girl already. I'm not sure if that was already out there, but and so he told you and Enrique Lorenzo that like if you placed good in the top 5 at a contest, he would take you both to the States as a gift, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
And you actually placed, like, I think you were 5th and Enrique 4th, or maybe it was the other way around, I'm not sure.
Enrique was 4th and I was 5th.
Okay.
But that seemed really weird to me, because I never liked contests, and I don't even think I did a lot of stuff on that competition.
What contest was it? Do you remember what it was?
Somewhere in Germany, Munich. I still have the trophy. It's like a fingerboard, but those medium ones, you know? Not with trucks, but it was like, you know, like... Sometimes they give you a plate or sometimes they give you a medal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was Munich, but I think it was actually qualified to Munster.
Oh, Munster.
Yeah.
That was one of the big contests, yeah.
Yeah, so it was to get qualified so you will be able to participate in Munster. But the year, it should be 95 also again, or 94.
So you two like did good in the contest and then... Yeah. Francisco had to take you to the States.
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe that. I was like, what? I don't know, I was happy, you know, but it took me a while. Still today, like, why we're so lucky, like 5th and 4th. Okay, everything came together like it was meant to be, you know?
Exactly.
I didn't believe in myself that, I'm gonna be 5th. I was never even, I was always not qualified in the Spanish competition, so what would I, you know? I think Francisco wouldn't think we were gonna make it, you know? Also, Enrique didn't. He's super good, Enrique. You know, but he wouldn't care about competitions.
Contests?
Yeah, exactly, contests. Yeah, but long story short, we make it to the 4th.
You pulled it off.
Yeah, it's funny.
And actually, so you guys stayed for like a month, and you stayed at Lance Mountain's house, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience? Like, do you have any fun memories from that time out there? That very first time in the States?
Fun memories, yeah, for sure. A lot of fun memories, a lot of fun conversations, but I wouldn't speak English yet, so but still, it still was fun, you know. A lot of, I was hanging out a lot with Enrique. It was a whole month there is a long time, you know. Lance was pretty busy, man, you know. Lance was busy, like he was skating, he was doing the Firm.
Yeah, the Firm had started, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was filming for this music Ben Harper video clip.
Oh, okay.
He actually took us there to he was really nice because he was busy, but he has some guests, us, right? And he would just take us here and there. Like maybe one weekend we shoot photos with him. He was shooting photos, you know. He always did. He was really good at shooting photos.
Yeah, I heard that before, that he shot photos, yeah.
Yeah, and he was really good. A lot of photos out there is from Lance, like from Girl and Chocolate as well. And he was really good at finding spots too. Mm-hmm. And he was good at skating and he was good at everything.
Good at everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the man. He was super fun. I wouldn't speak English, but we communicate, you know. He would just make me laugh. Like, you know, with no words, like doing stupid stuff, you know, like...
Francisco and Enrique, did they speak English?
Yeah, better. Francisco, yeah, definitely good English. Okay. And Enrique too, I can't really... He spoke better than me. But at first, not perfect, of course, you know?
Mm.
But I could see that he knew more words and... But yeah, we arrived to LA, Lance picked us up, we went to his house. It was a lot of time in the house, you know? LA without a car, man, is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're waiting for someone all the time. Francisco was there, but he was going there for others interested, you know? Like, got a Girl and Chocolate.
Yeah.
Dwindle, it was called Wall Industries, right? all that, you know, for the distribution. So he was there for work, but he will take us to some places sometimes, but not too much skating actually. And that's what we wanted to do. But yeah, you know, Lance sometimes will have friends coming over and saying hi, and one of the times was Richard Mulder.
Oh, really? Okay.
And yeah, I will never forget this. He was super nice. He didn't know us at all, but he was like, "What's up, guys? Yeah, I'm gonna take you to skate." Super cool, man. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm gonna take you to skate." And not in the same day, you know. He was like saying, "What about next Friday or something?" I don't know. I can't remember, but it was not that day, you know. But he will promise us that he will pick us up and we will go skate. So yeah, he did that, and next time we went to Sheffield. You know, he spots that school with a lot of blocks, like an L shape, and
yeah, I think I see which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and he will take us there, and we slept at his place, his parents' house. He was super fun to just hang out with, you know, and it was okay we didn't speak English because all his friends, Richard's friends, were speaking Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, a lot of people speak Spanish in LA, so that was easier for us. Like, so many people speak Spanish that at the end I was just gonna order food and I would just be rude and in Spanish like, "Dame esto,"
yeah, give me this.
I got comfortable, but I wouldn't do that now because you have to respect more. Of course, it's English there, you know, but
you were a young kid.
I was comfortable. Yeah, exactly. I was like, okay, she's Mexican or something. I don't know. Sometimes wouldn't like, "Excuse me," and I was like, okay, yeah, she don't speak Spanish, but a lot of people did, you know, speak Spanish.
Was Richard Mulder the first pro that you ever met, or did you cross paths with other pros before him? Lance, of course, but
Lance, yeah, in LA, yeah. When we moved to LA, yeah, but I met some pros back in Spain when I was a kid, but yeah.
Okay.
In LA, he was the first one.
And actually, you went to was that during that trip that you went to the Paco premiere, or was that later?
It was in that trip, yeah.
So that must have been 95, yeah. We were talking about this, I think Paco came out in 95.
Yes, exactly. We went to the premiere, so yeah, that's why I remember, because we went to the premiere.
And so you got to meet like a lot of legends that night, like, did you get to meet Mike and Rick from Girl and Chocolate, or not formally, kind of, or...?
Yeah, but I think they were meeting a lot of people that day. But yeah, I met Rick. He gave us I had that t-shirt for years after. A brown chocolate Nueve Vidas de Paco video with the cover here. And the t-shirt was also brown. Cool. And I kept that forever. And my younger brother, wore that for a long time also. Yeah. Rick Howard handed to me. He was giving away, you know, I don't know if he was at the exit or coming in to the premiere. But yeah. He was giving and say hi and shake hands to everyone. Super nice. So I met Rick there. I don't think he will remember that. He remembers me from later with Chico.
With the premiere of Chocolate and stuff, he was busy saying hi to everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So did this first month in the States, did that give you the desire to go live in the States eventually? Or what were your thoughts after that month when you went back home? Were you thinking oh, I'd love to go live in California and have this skating lifestyle?
I didn't have that. I didn't have that in me. I don't know why. I love it all. I love the experience. It was one of my biggest experience back then, and going there and skating the spots, skating with Richard and all those guys, Lance, and with Enrique as well. But I didn't feel like I should go back and try to be pro there or get sponsored. It was too far for me. Not in the distance way, but also how would I support myself there, economically, or I was too young to realize this, you know. I was too young to, and I was an average skater, you know. I wouldn't. Nobody will take me to his place oh my God, you have a talent, you stay with me or whatever, and we're gonna make you pro. I didn't have that, you know. I could see that the skaters were liking the way we skate, Enrique and I, because Richard used to tell us you guys are really good. Also Lance was liking the way we skate. I could feel it. I don't know with words. He didn't say with words, but I could see it, and you don't spend a lot of time shooting photos of people if you don't like the way they're skating, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I remember asking Francisco, you think Lance would like to put us on the film?
Oh yeah, but I wanted to ask you about that, yeah.
He wouldn't try. But anyways, what were the the point be? Like, we're gonna go back to Spain, you know?
At the time also, like, to put some perspective on it, I guess there were no social media, there was no internet, so it was probably very hard to imagine having a career in skating being in Spain. Like, you had to be in California, kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was impossible to think about that, you know? So now, yes, but...
Sure, yeah. Today it's possible wherever you are, basically, but...
Yeah, exactly, and you just travel and... But yeah, no, the experience was good. A lot of time in the house though, but... And we were not used to that, you know? I was used to being from a plaza skater, pretty much.
Yeah, being outside all day.
And that, and then you're moving your body all the time, you know? You're exercising, you're skating. And when I got to LA, it wasn't like that, man. My legs were getting...
You're like in the car a lot and...
rusty, with a 16-year-old rusty, you know? Like, because
yeah.
Not even in the car, sometimes in the house, you know? We play a lot of basket in front of the garage, me and Enrique. And talking shit to Lance Jr. and he will punch me and all this kind of stuff. I will make him mad, and his mom Yvette, she will be mad to me like, Jesus. But we were kids and we're in the house, you know, like for a lot of hours and days, and we took a car one day, but I can't, maybe it was the rental car. Oh my God. Enrique was like, yeah, I know how to drive, don't worry, let's go to the bakery, just to the bakery. Oh my God, we almost died, dude. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, because you guys were like 16, right? So you couldn't drive in Spain at that time, right?
Yeah, no way. That's more like in the States, you know. You can at 16 you can drive with a grown up, or but in Spain you'll probably be like 20 because you're allowed to get the license when you're 18. But it's really harder, like in France and like everywhere else in Europe. Yeah. And it's gonna take you like a year, so you're gonna be 19 or 20, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we thought it was fun. Like, you're 16, so you can actually hear. Yeah, let me try it. Like, but dude, I don't know what Enrique did, but it was insane. It was a street, not a freeway. But it was like he wouldn't brake or something. I don't know. And he was like, no, don't worry, I have it under control. No way. But yeah, it was fine, you know. But we skated the mini ramp, and it was a good Spain, definitely good. But it was not the same type of skating as we would have in Madrid or Barcelona, you know.
Yeah.
But then you learn the other way, you know, like that's how it is there. And a lot of driving, a lot of waiting, especially if you're a kid and you don't drive already. You're gonna be waiting for someone. But it was one of the most beautiful experience I had ever. So it was definitely good. Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about, I don't know how long after that was, but eventually you went back to the States with your brother and Dani Lebron, and your brother had this like plan, so to speak, to get to the States, hopefully get sponsored and build a career as a sponsored or professional skater eventually. And so he convinced you to, like you and Dani, to go along with him on this journey and like adventure. And so you arrived in California. So at that point you're like 18, around that age?
No, actually a little bit older, because maybe 20 or 21. I will probably be 21 because I don't remember not being able to buy a beer.
Okay.
Or something like that. Yeah, I was 21. But exactly just make it to 21 or something.
Okay.
So yeah, and I was just back into skating because...
Oh yeah, that's right. You stopped for a year, right?
2 years. Totally. I don't know why.
You just lost motivation, or...
Yeah, maybe it was because of going to the States and all that, and like, no, that shouldn't be, you know. But then I saw firsthand everything I had to see, and maybe I got disappointed, like, I'm never gonna be pro. But I was young, you know, like, that was not the whole thing. And now I understand skating in a different way. Like, I'm like, why do you want to be pro for? Is that what you're skating for? It's not about that.
Yeah,
for me now. Yeah. For me now, it's like... Probably everything else. Being a pro, it can help you with a lot of things. If you love skating, of course, it's gonna be good because you're gonna be able to skate more hours, because that's
your job. That's
your job, and you're able to provide for your payments and live, and you're able to do that all the time, and you don't work, so another thing, so you can skate.
Focus on skating, yeah.
But that's not the main reason. But I don't know, maybe back then, I don't know why I stopped for 2 years, because I started hanging out with people from my neighborhood who didn't skate.
Okay.
You know, and maybe just to do something else. because I skate for a lot of years. That's what I thought. Like maybe it was after 6 or 7 years, right? So maybe you get tired sometimes too, you know. Some people get tired for a month and come back, but I really stopped because I started training in a gym, lifting weights, but not gnarly, you know, like just being in shape, you know.
Sure, yeah.
Because that's what my friends did. So I was just hanging out with them, and like it was another challenge for me, like because I was always super skinny, you know, like a stick arm, you know, like I was like, those guys had bigger arms, like am I able to? It was the same with skating, like am I able to do that? Like I never really believed in myself, like 100%. I did. I think I did. If not, I would have never became a good skater or go to the gym. So I in a way, yes, I believe in myself, but I always have a doubt, you know, this doubt, like, am I able to do that? So yeah, I trained until I was a little bit big, then I didn't like it. When I saw myself a little bit big, I was like, man, let me go back to normal, you know, like...
Okay. You went full b-ball and then you were like, no, I'm over this? Or...
Yeah, but I was never too big because I'm skinny, so yeah. My bones are thin, you know, like, so I'm not meant to be like big, you know, but...
Yeah. I'm built a little bit like you, like I'm quite skinny and like even if I spend my whole life in a gym, I'll probably not ever get big.
Exactly, you know, the biceps are long enough, so it's really hard to... But
you have to eat a lot of protein and stuff to like get big. Like it's a whole thing, and it's a whole lifestyle. So
yeah. So I did that for a while, and I didn't skate because at first I will do both. Okay. One of the reasons why I stopped, I remember now, I dislocated my elbow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I didn't. It was
Did
not.
you do that while skating or?
Yeah, while skating before the gym and all that. I gotta go back for a second and explain why. I was skating, I dislocated my elbow really bad. It was out of place, like really, really bad. I couldn't put it back together right there on that moment, you know? So I had to go to the hospital with the arm. I couldn't even look at it because I would be sick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they took me there in a car, my friends from Cologne to the hospital. They put it back together and they told me I have to chill, relax for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me stop already for 3 months.
Okay.
What happened is like skating is like that. When you stop, you lose the interest.
Yeah.
I mean, I stopped before with injuries, like ankle injuries for months as well, and I didn't lose the interest at all. I was wanting to skate even more, but sometimes it could happen also, especially when you get older. Now, you know, if you don't skate for months, you're like, okay, now I have to start again, and like from the beginning. But I think it was that. It was a little bit of that. So I never thought one day I'm gonna stop skating. I never thought that. It just happened. It just happened slowly, really slowly, you know, like...
Yeah. You didn't plan to stop or...
Yeah, I never planned that. I actually was feeling sad when I was thinking about, like, maybe I'm stopping, you know? I didn't want to, but it was happening for some reason.
Yeah, you needed to take a break from it maybe for a while.
Maybe, yeah, and I have other friends and they, you know, influence, you know? Not bad influence, good influence as well, nice people, but they didn't skate, so they don't want you to go skate, you know?
So you found this new like love for skating, kind of. You never lost it, but like you just stopped for a bit and did other stuff, and
exactly.
Then started skating again and felt more motivated than ever before. And so then Alfonso told you like, let's do like Enrique, let's go to the States, let's try to get sponsors and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like skeptical to that. I was like, it sounded good, but I was like, yeah, but man, we're not coming from a rich family, you know.
Mm-hmm.
How do you gonna support yourself, you know? So I was like, okay, this is a little bit of a fantasy.
Yeah.
But my brother was on it. He went by himself, I think, one of the times. Actually, can't remember if he went with Dani. Yeah, he must have go with Dani, but I think he went by himself first and then one with Dani, and then I go back with Dani. But he was convincing me that we should do this, you know, Lance. I knew Lance, but we hang out with Lance later also. But yeah, I don't know. He was just going there, and we follow my brother pretty much.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't do this by myself. Like, if he wasn't there, I wouldn't go, or Dani also.
Mm.
Because I've been also there for another vacation. I've been there for the Lance thing. That was easy. But then I also went to New York by myself with another friend on a winter in '96. And I have a bad experience about going to the States, you know. with not a lot of money, and I was thinking it's gonna be like that, and I didn't like it. I felt far away with no family, not so much good English, not so much money, and I felt crazy, man. One time I felt really crazy in Grand Central Station in New York.
Oh yeah.
I didn't have money to eat, and I wasn't having a good time, man. I called my parents. They couldn't really send me money. They did at the end, but they were mad. It was like, you went there without our permission.
Yeah.
They give me money,
and
but
now you're asking for help, kind of.
Yeah. Like I told them that I was going a night before. I bought a cheap ticket, and I was 18, so I was almost a grown up, but still a baby, you know.
Yeah. Still very young. Yeah.
So yeah, but it was stuck in my brain also. That was before the training and all this, you know, when I was 18.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So after when my brother was talking about going to the States, I remember about that, you know. That it's not easy. It's not easy if you're not rich. If you don't have income, a money support or something. So it sounded good, but not, you know.
Yeah,
but
you were a bit reluctant,
Yeah, exactly. He still went there, Dani too. And my brother came back one time with Dani to say a final goodbye, that he was gonna really go and stay there illegally. So that was his plan. He was not like, oh, should I stay more? No, it was his plan, like, I'm gonna stay until, like Enrique did, until I get sponsored.
Yeah.
And of course I'm gonna go visit him, you know. I wasn't planning to be legal. I don't know why I didn't see it like that. I don't know. I like both places. I like to be in Madrid. I also like to be there. And it's tough because you like both places. But if you're able to do both, it's also really refreshing every time.
Sure.
You know? Like, yeah, it's the best.
Yeah,
I got
they
used
feed
to that.
into each other. Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. So you don't get bored of nowhere. I got used to that for a lot of years, and then it's tough to be in one place because you get used to that also. And it's a nice. Of course, it's tough, the traveling, the flyings and all that, but I wouldn't fly it every day, you know. I would just stay long in one place and then another. But yeah, long story short, I follow Alphonso, my brother, and Dani to the States. And we stay with a friend from Madrid who's American, actually, half American, half Spanish. His father was from Madrid, and his mom was from Santa Monica, American. His name is Álvaro de la Huerta.
Okay.
Really nice guy, really funny guy.
Okay.
And he let us stay with him in Pacific Palisades, nice area, you know, by Malibu sort of, but it's more like, it's another area, but it's around there. Pacific Palisades, yeah, really nice house area, you know.
So that was your first place where you stayed in California?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we were moving around at first. Because of course, who wants to have 3 guys in their house?
Yeah, yeah, not for a long time. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. But we were lucky with that. I don't know. We must have something that people like to have us in their place because people wanted to have us as a guest, you know, here and there.
Yeah.
We live in a basement also in Hollywood Boulevard. Actually, in Gramercy Street, it's called Gramercy, and it ends on a T on a Hollywood Boulevard. You know.
Okay.
We live in a basement where they fix the lights and the pipes, the water. And it was just a big, long room there with also... But I wouldn't do that. I was
like
over that.
Exercise.
It was a bench with a bar and for
weights,
push-ups. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we got sleeping bags and... I don't know, I think we have something for cooking. It was perfect for us. It was near Lockwood.
Oh,
the skate spot, the school, you know.
Spot.
And near the Walk of Fame and all that. So it was like, it was nice. It was warm. You go outside and the weather is amazing. The smell of the flowers, everything. it was nice. It was nice, man. Yeah, we couldn't ask for more. We didn't have a lot of money though, and we work in Spain with our friend in a bar, save some money because we didn't pay rent in Spain.
Oh yeah.
We saved some money
you
there.
You were still living with your parents?
Yeah, when we were not in LA, you know. It was the only way to do it. A lot of people live with their parents there anyways, until they're 40. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Not everyone though, but yeah.
Yeah. No.
In my neighborhood, probably yes, you know.
At what point did you find that place? I think you were staying near USC, right? For a while.
Yeah, exactly. That came later on. I think that came when we were skating for neighborhood or something like that. So But before that, we live in so many different places. And we always trying to find a place where we could skate nearby without cars.
Mm-hmm. You just mentioned neighborhood. How did that connection happen? Like, how did you start skating with them? It was Julio de la Cruz company, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was Julio de la Cruz company, or at least he had a part of the company. He owns a bar. I thought it was his company, but of course it was coming from Climax Distribution, who's like Tracker Trucks, Orion, Invisible, Neighborhood, all those brands, you know, like.
Yep.
Also Transwall, I think, is related to that, you know. It was like over there in Ocean side, you know.
Okay.
South of San Diego, I would say, or yeah, down there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in charge of the whole thing, you know, and like he was an owner of the brand for sure. He didn't own 100%. He was also some other. Linda was a lady who like owns Neighborhood also with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Larry Ballman? No way. Bodycar. He was the team manager, but yeah, he was Julio's. But that connection came from Lockwood, actually. And also maybe from speaking Spanish. It was a crew where like, in Lockwood, we were like, also from Enrique. It comes from Enrique, talking Spanish, and Lockwood. Those three teams, you know?
Okay.
Because Enrique was like, we're skating in Lockwood, and then maybe, but after this we go to Julio's house and have some beers and go in the jacuzzi, you know, like, it was apartments, not a house, but one of those apartments with a little pool and jacuzzi for all the neighbors, you know, and barbecues and stuff, so we used to do that, and the speaking Spanish thing was a big part of it, so we just became friends with Julio, but he wasn't thinking to put us on the team or nothing. It was also some Brazilians around, like Bruno Brito, who was like hanging out with Enrique and Julio. So it was a nice crew. After Lockwood, we will go there. It was 2 blocks away. We could walk.
Okay.
From Lockwood to Julio's house, and he was nice. Always fun, you know, Julio.
Mm-hmm.
But at first we didn't talk about Neighborhood or nothing. He was busy with Neighborhood with Robert Douglas, some other pros he had on the brand. So he was fine, you know, like they were doing okay.
So tell me about like those years of skating for Neighborhood, and like eventually you did that video Lalaland, and I think that was maybe your first big break, like maybe your first major part, and that really must have helped you a lot to get on Chocolate eventually. But yeah, tell me about like writing for Neighborhood and Stamina, those first few years of being sponsored and stuff.
Yeah, so one of the times when I came back to Madrid, my brother will stay there, right? Legally, or he was just in LA, and I came back to refresh my not visa, but I have to leave after 90 days, and then I wouldn't have a visa at first, a tourist visa for 6 months. I wouldn't even have that. Only the Spanish passport, and you were allowed to go 90 days, 3 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So one of those times when I went back, I got a call from my brother Alfonso, and he told me, "Hey, Jesus, what's up? Hey, tío. Yeah, how you doing there, blah, blah." And then he told me, "Hey, you know what? Julio, I talked to him, man. Maybe he wants to put us in Neighborhood." Mm. And when he told me, I already thought about that. In Cologne or something by myself. We wouldn't talk every day because it was not WhatsApp or nothing like that. Yeah. So we talk, he will call me from Wall all the time, Wall Industries.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he will call me forever there. But not every day. Sometimes, you know, when he went there. I have to mention Socrates Leal, man, the filmer.
Oh, yes.
I have to mention him, but it's all scrambled. Sorry, the story is like here and there, but he will help us so much. Like Socrates helped us so much, man.
Was he one of the main filmers for that video for Lalaland?
Yeah, but he edited that video and filmed. But I think Fernando Garcia, who made LA County video, it was the main filmer for Neighborhood as well.
Okay.
We have some footage that we filmed ourselves in Madrid and some others, but Socrates definitely edited and helped us with products from Wall Industries, and that's why Alphonse was calling from Wall, because he will go there with Socrates. He will pick my brother up. He will pick us up. He will give us boards. He will ask Rosny, "I'm gonna grab these boards. It's not for me. It's for these Spanish guys."
Okay.
And I'm helping them, and so that also motivates us, you know. Socrates Leal is giving us products, and he's wasting his time helping us, you know, like that's something, you know.
He saw the potential in you, probably. He saw that you guys were motivated and good skaters, talented, and he wanted to help you out, yeah.
Yeah, so that helped us to see it that way also, you know.
How did you first meet with him? Just skating, like at a famous spot, or?
I met him with Enrique before my brother, but only to like, he was a funny guy with a cowboy jacket, you know? Cowboys, okay. Dallas Cowboys or something, with a star here. I met him with those Lance days when we were filming for that Ben Harper video.
Oh, yeah.
And Socrates was there, Eric Costin, and I met him quickly there. But then my brother, I don't know how he met him actually. I don't know how they met, and he started helping him before. Then after when I met them the second time, I told him that I was there, and he remembered. Yeah, you and Enrique, he remembered us. I don't know why he remembered us, but he remembered us, you know? Because we were spoken Spanish, yeah. And he was like, oh, people from Spain, from the La Madre Patria, they would call us, you know, like the mainland, you know, the motherland, sorry. Yeah, but I don't know how my brother and him, they came together, really good friends, and he was helping my brother a lot. So yeah, sorry I jumped one of the questions, but I just thought about Socrates,
all good. That
I have to mention him because
he was instrumental in helping you out at the beginning.
Yeah, man, yeah, it's a big help for us. If it wasn't for Socrates, I wouldn't be in chocolate later. Because I will give up before. We needed that help. We needed that Alvaro's guy from Spain help to stay with him. We needed Socrates. We needed Enrique.
All these people that kind of pushed you and motivated you to eventually reach your goal, which was to become pro for a company. And
yeah, exactly.
So you turned pro, you did that video, Lalaland. After the video, like the momentum was kind of done with the neighborhood. Like they didn't seem to be wanting to do another video right away. The motivation was kind of not there much anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And so at what point did you decide to quit, like all three of you, like Dani and Alphonso and yourself?
I don't know exactly at what point, but we needed the support. They were paying us for being pros, not a lot, but a good income that it will provide us to pay the rent for our small apartment, whatever it was at the time. And we share an apartment, the three of us, always, you know. We always have a guest also from Madrid, another friend we wanted to help here and there, or some friends. Mm-hmm. But we had what we need, so we needed that income, you know. And I don't know, we decided differently. I think my brother was also before, he was getting mad with the neighborhood, but not exactly with Julio, but Julio was always, we're still friends, you know. He was always okay, you know, but I think it was my brother's frustration to not go back to Spain. Could be that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say. But like the neighborhood video put us on a spot. For example, Julio made a premiere in his house. Okay. At this time he was living in Pasadena in a big house with his friend Gideon, and they have a big house. It was nice. But the premiere was just in a TV, but he had a big living room and invited a lot of friends, and like most of the Spanish crew as well, Bruno, all those guys, Marco, the cousin of Fabian Alomar.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, Marco is in. He was also filming with Fernando a lot, and with Enrique. He's in that video Deca with Enrique.
Oh yeah.
And a girl singing flamenco is their son, the soundtrack. And it's Marco and Enrique with that son, and he's really good skater as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he invited them, and he invited King Cardona.
Oh wow!
And Gabriel Rodriguez.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And after that, the feedback was amazing, especially with Gabriel. He was like, "Dude, the tricks you did there, man." So man, that makes my proud.
Stoked.
Yeah, because Gabriel for me is
a legend.
A legend. From street skating in Los Angeles, the mecca of skating, street skating, and I would just couldn't believe. I have to think about it a couple times, but amazing feedback, you know. So
yeah. That part is incredible. I just rewatched it a few days ago, and it was like, wow, this is even to today's standard. That's really good.
Thanks, Quentin. That means a lot.
So tell me about getting on chocolate, because that happened, I guess, not too long after all that. So the Lalaland video comes out, you decide to quit neighborhood, and I heard that you met with Chico one day at I'm not sure which spot it was, maybe Lockwood or
Lockwood. It was Lockwood.
Yeah, Lockwood.
Maybe we met before, but Can't really remember. But Lagu, I talked to him that day, I think, or maybe it was Dani. I think I was alone actually, and I talked to Chico. But it was already a better situation for me to talk with Chico because our video came out. I thought nobody was gonna watch it, but apparently yes. It was not a big premiere, but people watch it. I think maybe it was Julio showing them the videos because he was friend with everyone, with Guy, with Chico. But it was different. Definitely everybody was nice to us from the beginning. But after that video, they knew how we skate, or maybe they knew how we can make a video part, or something, because it's different a video part than how you skate in real life. But they could see that, like, okay, they can make video parts. These guys are good, or it's cool. They have a good taste, or whatever. I don't know what they thought. But Chico told me that I was so cool, those video parts, and he liked it, and wow, that was amazing. And then we spoke Spanish. He's really good at Spanish. His first language is Spanish, I think.
Yeah, he's from Nicaragua, right? I think.
Yeah, he's from Nicaragua, and it's his first language. But his English is also
bilingual, basically.
Yeah, he's bilingual. But I wasn't bilingual, so he will speak to me in Spanish. And yeah, I can't really remember the conversation, but it was nice, and I felt so good that I met Chico, because he also, again, like Gabriel, but from another time.
Yeah.
Because Gabriel was earlier, and Chico was a little bit later, for me. Another legend, So I was like, but Chico is, man, the style, everything.
So he told you, like, basically good job on that video part, but was he already telling you, like, about getting on chocolate, or did that conversation come later?
No, that come later, but the thing is, like, maybe we exchanged number, or he gave us his number, because we didn't even have a number for years.
Oh, yeah. You didn't have a phone in your apartment?
No, we didn't have a phone. The less bills we have, it was better,
Yeah.
because we didn't have a lot of money, so even we could probably afford a phone, but we'd rather to go to the movies or eat good, or like I don't know, buy some Levi's stupid stuff. I don't know. I can't remember, but I don't know. But the conversation, I was just told that he would talk to me.
Yeah.
So, and it seemed like it wasn't the last time we were gonna talk. It is. I don't know. I had a great feeling after. I was like, wow, Chico is nice, man. Because you don't know people before you talk. You don't know how they're gonna be. But he was nice enough to give me a great feeling, about calling him back and skate with him. At the beginning, we didn't talk about brands or nothing. He was just, you guys are cool, Spanish, yeah, I like everything, I like the music, let's skate together. It was more about that, let's skate together. And of course, who doesn't want to go skate with Chico Brenes, You must be out of your mind. So, of course, the first thing I did was call him soon, like we called him, and dude, I think the first or the second time he took us to Girl.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't ask him. We're gonna go to Girl. Yeah, grab some boards if you want. Maybe we did tell him that we were not super happy in Neighborhood.
Oh, so you hadn't quit Neighborhood at that point? Okay, you were still on.
Yeah, we were still on. He was just like he wants to skate. He skates with everybody else from Girl, but he skated with some other people, with Dani Montoya, with people who want. Chico's always skating, so he wanted to skate all the time.
Yeah.
And he will skate with Rick, he will skate with Mike and everybody, but those guys were sometimes they were in San Francisco, all over, or like they have different projects. So he wanted to skate with us. But I'm sure eventually we tell them that we were not happy in Neighborhood, not the first time, but somehow he took us to Girl, and we met Rick. I met him for the second time, of course, because I met him in...
Yeah, you had met him at the Paco premiere, right?
Yeah,
before.
But then we met in... At first I was like, but I think this is with everyone, with Gabriel, with Chico, with Rick. I always feel like they're gonna be mean, because I don't know, they were so big stars for us, that I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna, maybe he tells me to shut up and, but every time was like, whoa, a nice feeling after, like, also with Rick, this guy's super nice, smiling, like, just nice, like not rude or nothing, like, of course, what would they be rude, but I don't know, I was just a kid, and like, I don't know, I always think about the worst sometimes, too.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
But that was only before I met people, Maybe I had that impression somehow for something in my childhood, I don't know. But every time it was not like that, it was nice people, and we get to meet them, and I don't know what Chico told them, but Rick was like, Chico say, hey Rick, can these guys get some boards and some stuff? And because sometimes the neighborhood boards wasn't that good, man. They wouldn't listen what we want, you know, like they will make the boards, but they were not. The first boards were good. No. The second pro model, but the first ones was awful. I don't know. It felt heavy on the pop, like the holes for the truck were too close to the tail somehow. Like they didn't have this.
They weren't
flat.
so good to skate. Yeah.
Yeah, they were so good to skate, and we wanted to skate something good. Even we were in the neighborhood, and I don't know. They just like us, and they always have friends coming over and grabbing boards. Richard's friends as well, like Richard Mulder's friends. They had floating. It's more like a friend thing than floating.
Yeah, it wasn't super official.
Yeah, they have friends, and if they like their friends, they're gonna hook them up, and they appreciate people who love skating. And he wanted to help us somehow. If we were happy to have him some boards, he would say, here, get some boards. Rick was like, hey, you guys need grip day? Yeah, thanks. I could only say things like that, like thanks, Rick. Like I was learning English, but.
And so at what point did that turn into actually getting on flow? Like, do you remember like the first conversations about you actually getting on chocolate?
See, that's the thing, because Rick, it was always a busy man, you know, always skating and always working at Girl, you know, and our English wasn't good enough to speak with him. We spoke about tricks and stuff, that's good enough, but so it was through Chico, everything was through Chico. Chico was like, man, I'm gonna try to put you guys on a Girl and Chocolate or something, Ted. Like, if you're not happy in neighborhood, because we were not happy in neighborhood because Julio was fine and all that, but it's like we made the video and then that's it. They thought we were gonna live from that for 10 years or what. Like, they didn't want to do anything. We actually did a tour to Japan, which was really cool.
Okay.
In 2000, between that, meeting Chico and all that, it was like around that time. But that was it. After that, they didn't want to do it. No tours, no videos. They wouldn't listen to us. But maybe it was also the communication, you know. It was also through Julio. Climax was neighborhood distribution, right?
Yeah.
In Climax, everything was through Julio because our language, you know, like we didn't speak good English enough to like tell them what we think or what we should do or ask. We probably wouldn't, even if we spoke perfect English at the same time. You know what I mean? Maybe we'd be the same, you know, but that's excuse maybe. So I don't know, they didn't want to do much, and the communication was hard. We would only talk to Julio, and Julio was traveling to Mexico a lot because he loves to go there. It will probably be something later, but we thought it was like, okay, this is gonna end here. Like those guys who were before us, which actually felt really bad about it because they put us on pro for neighborhood, but they kicked all those guys out. They were really good. Robert Douglas, Sorry Gonzalez, and they just kicked them out.
Oh, really? Wow.
Maybe they keep Dylan Garner and Pini Martinez, but everybody else, they kicked them out, but that was kind of bad, you know?
Yeah.
We felt bad because, okay, now they're changing you guys for us. Like, we take your spot.
Replacing,
replacing, thank you. That was kind of strange, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, just Chico was into helping us, so that felt good, you know, and we were still in neighborhood for a long time, and Julio knew we were getting boards from them, and he was okay, but it was good for him because he will keep our boards for him.
He wasn't bummed that you were skating chocolate boards.
No, he was. He probably was, you know, and it's different times, you know, and it was good. Neighborhood was good, man. It was motivation. All those tricks we make for neighborhood was also nice, you know.
Yeah, sure.
But then, I don't know, we started seeing something else, you know, close and like Girl or Chocolate, you know, and we were fan of Girl and Chocolate.
So eventually you got on chocolate, but your brother and Dani didn't come along. Like, were they a bit bummed not to follow you? Because you mentioned before, like you were a pack, like you were the three Spanish guys, and you were skating for the same brands, living together, doing everything together. Was it difficult for you to go to chocolate and kind of leave your brother and your friend behind, or? Yeah,
of course it was difficult. It didn't feel right, you know. It felt good because.
Yeah, it's chocolate. It's a dream come true.
It's a dream, but I didn't feel good. I felt like I was selfish, you know. I didn't feel good in my stomach, but my brother pushed me to do it also. Like,
oh, nice. Okay.
Are you crazy? You gotta get chocolate. Like, he was always. My brother was better skater than me. And Dani around, yeah, nobody's better than. But you know, I felt like my brother he will try things I would never try in rails and stuff. So he was brave. He was braver than me, you know. He wasn't scared. I was a bit more scared sometimes when it comes to rails or gaps. Like that's why I became a little bit more technical probably, because it still be scary if you try something technical in a rail. But you start with the technical only, you know.
Yeah.
And also I have to mention that they never decide you're gonna be in chocolate and they're not gonna be in chocolate. It wasn't like that. We were all in the flow team.
Okay.
And my brother decided to start to try something else, and Dani also decided to try something else. They never, Rick and Mike or Chico or the team manager who was at the time, Jason Calloway, never decided to like, okay, you guys are not in the flow team anymore. Or Jesus, you're an amateur for chocolate now. No, it was never like that. It was like they decide to try something else, and I stayed and waited, and that's what made me be like in chocolate later on. Because I was patient to stay. You
waited long enough for that opportunity to happen.
Yeah, and they got tired of waiting. But I think another reason why I was more patient and they were not is because there was a rumor that they wanted me a little bit more than the others. They wanted all, but maybe Jesus in chocolate. Like already those two words was meaning a little bit more, you know? Before it was just you just grab stuff, girl or chocolate, it doesn't matter, or Forster. But then the words Jesus in chocolate, and it's nothing official, you know. It was just like, okay, maybe it looks like it could be in chocolate.
Yeah, it sounds right. Yeah.
Maybe it's because I look like JV Gillette.
Maybe.
JV was gonna also they like JV. A lot of people told me I look like JV.
Yeah, that's true. You do look alike a little bit. Yeah. I think he still has some hair though, but yeah. But exactly. There's definitely something for sure. I don't remember who I talked to about this, but maybe Mesa.
You're talking. I hear
about him getting on chocolate. Yeah,
and he was there for one day or what, or like.
Or something. Yeah. It didn't happen. That's too bad. But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know when is that. Yeah. Maybe it was around. It was actually around that time. I think. So it's around that time. Yeah,
it's all in the same time period, kind of. Yeah, sure. Early 2000s.
Yeah, but for sure they will get JB to be pro, you know? He was gonna be pro, like straight up. And I was just somebody who people don't know. They knew me in the States, but they didn't know me in, other places. They knew me in Spain, of course, and they knew about me in the States.
Yeah.
But I don't think they knew about me in Argentina.
France, for example.
Or France, or Germany until later. With neighborhood, help. Like it was in Germany and maybe in France. It was not everywhere neighborhood. That's another thing. I will go to shops like, always getting chocolate, always World 101. Neighborhood, where are the neighborhood bars? I was like, they were not in the States. They were somewhere else.
They weren't necessarily distributed all over the world.
Maybe in Japan and Brazil.
Yeah,
but not too often, you know.
So as you said, you were on the Flow program, then so your brother and Dani kind of went and did their own thing. And so at what point did you start filming for like Yeah Right and stuff? Was that already a project in the works at that time? Because Yeah Right came out in 2003.
Yeah.
Do you remember at what point they told you like, okay, we're doing this girl chocolate video, like whatever you're filming will like give you a part or at least like be in a montage or something? Like when did Yeah Right become a project for you?
Okay, when I started living with Chico, I was staying with him at his place. I will be involved in all this. I will be closer. I was with Chico all the time. I mean, he will do his own things, you know. He will have his privacy. I will get out of the house sometimes and go to stay with some other friends in Santa Monica or something for a couple of days and come back, or stay with Alphonso and Dani, and I think we will have our own apartment also later on. But yeah, I was with Chico a lot, so I was there. Like in the girl and the next project is this or Yeah Right or like what about Yeah Right, and I was like what kind of name is that? But it makes sense at the end, you know.
Yeah.
And I will learn that not too long ago, like Yeah Right, you know, like are they gonna call it Yeah Right? It's pretty sick. But yeah, it was never a project for me. Okay, you're gonna have these seconds. It's never like that. It's like just film and shut up and like do your thing.
Film some tricks.
Yeah, but I think it was Chico, man. Chico's the one who like motivated me. He was super positive about it, more than me. about me being in chocolate, you know. I will have these days that like, no, I'm not good enough. Like, he will be the one that like, okay, filma esto, like film this, or do this trick that you did over there at this spot, like, or yeah. But it was never you're gonna be for sure in the video, or like you're gonna be in chocolate for sure. Okay. So I was in the floating for a long time, and I will never talk to Rick or Mike about this. Like, I'm in chocolate or I'm not. Like, I will not ask.
I see. Skate. It was intimidating to ask.
Yeah, and I knew it was not like that. It's actions speak louder than words. Yeah. You know?
Your skating needs to do the talking, kind of.
Yeah. I will film a trick, and I will love the reaction, you know, of them, and that became like a drug to me again, you know, like to do a trick for them, for myself too, you know. But if you know what I mean, I needed them to believe in me as well.
As you said before, you were staying in the States for 3 months sometimes and then going back to Spain. And so you were building this career now as a pro skater for chocolate and stuff. Film for Yeah Right and everything. And at some point, unfortunately, you got deported from the States. And you've talked about this in other interviews, so we don't need to talk about it a whole lot. But like, basically, you were deported and you were like banned from coming back to the US for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you decided to quit chocolate because you couldn't see yourself staying pro for chocolate being in Spain.
Yeah. So when I got deported, I wasn't pro for chocolate yet.
Oh, okay. You were still am?
Yeah, but at least I was officially in chocolate because I was in the Yeah Right video.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more than a flow team, you know? You're not in the video if you're only in the flow team. Or maybe sometimes, you know, a friend clip
somewhere.
Yeah, a trick in Chico's part, someone, you know, something like that.
In the credits or...
Sure. But yeah, I was officially amateur for chocolate before I got deported. But I got deported before the premiere. I couldn't go to the premiere. So I officially got deported before Yeah Right.
I thought it happened afterwards, okay.
Yeah, no, the filming is afterwards. I film all and I couldn't do anything more about it. I could probably film one more trip because I was in Spain. I had to leave before the deadline. Okay. Also, you know, I have to leave, and a lot of times I have to leave before the deadline too. But I have to leave before the deadline for Yeah Right. And I tried to find a filmer in Spain with NTSC, which it was impossible, you know. It was a nightmare with this too also. But it's part of the game, man. It's part of it.
Yeah.
But then it was a deadline and it was a premiere soon. And I was gonna go back to the premiere, I think. Fuck, I can't remember. I wouldn't really care about the premieres too much back then because I'd rather to be in chocolate and not be in the premiere. I was always thinking what's more important, you know, like I like to go to the premieres, but of course it's fun, and especially if it's a special one like that. But I don't know if I tried to go back after the premiere or for the premiere, but I couldn't. They stopped me and they sent me back and they give me a stamp that you cannot come back for 5 years because of these documents. You make a cross here, and then these 3 questions, you know, and well, that's really a penalty. You cannot do that. It's not what I did or what happened or what's the truth, but if it's shoplifting or I just got caught. I wasn't even stealing anything, but I got caught in the wrong place as well.
Right, yeah.
And the famous socks.
Yeah.
But that's a felony. No, felony. Yeah, it's a misdemeanor. It's called like it's not a big deal, you know. But the problem is to lie on these papers.
Yeah, you didn't tell about it in the visa application process.
Exactly, yeah. and that's why I got deported.
It took a while until they noticed that, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you were coming and going for a few years until they all of a sudden decide, actually, like...
Yeah, exactly. I had that visa. I did the wrong answer and that visa many years before, maybe 4 years before that and all that. But then they happened the thing with the September 11, you know?
Oh, that's right.
And they were more strict after that. Yes. Way more. I saw the difference. Also for me to leave, and it was a chaos when that happened. And wow, the lines were bigger when you come back through the immigration. Also for Americans as well. I think everybody was like, "What do you bring? What do you?" And more questions, and they will stop more people. I was never been stopped before. It's a crystal window there, and it's the regular one I call that. They ask you like how long you gonna stay, money enough to support yourself, and that's the regular one you pass. But when they send you to a room, it's longer. And I was never sent to a room before. Mm-hmm. But after September 11, they sent me to the room.
Okay.
And I think that was not the first when I got deported, but the 3 months after I went back to Spain and again to the room, special room. And then they asked me more questions and I was like, have you ever been arrested also and all that? And I was like, oh, let me think. Because I was, of course, I knew I was in a jail one time. It was not a jail, you know, like a criminal.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It is one of those when you're people driving drunk or like pay a ticket.
For a very short time, yeah.
But I knew I was there, but I didn't want to ruin it, you know? So I didn't know what they meant if I was arrested because my record, I have nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not a criminal.
Doesn't show on your record.
Yeah,
that,
so I was trying to say that, but of course I didn't want to say like, I was arrested, you know, like I should say, like somebody told me when I was a kid, like, always say the truth. It's better, like. Yeah, stupid. I don't know.
I mean, anybody else, I would be scared, like going through immigration in the States. If they're asking me questions like that, I'd be,
nervous,
stressed out and nervous, exactly, yeah.
Just only because the flight is so long. I don't want to go 12 hours back again.
Yeah.
But more than that, of course, but yeah. So that's what happened after the GRI premiere, or around that time. I think maybe it was after, but I was like, okay, I don't go to the premiere, but I go film for the next video or something. But now I got one big step on my skating career, if you want to call it like that. I was having support by Chico, Carol, Mike, and those guys, and I was really motivated, you know, for the next thing, whatever it was. Next thing, I didn't know what could it be if I was in the Porter. What could it be? What video was next? Chocolate Tour? No,
that was before.
That Chocolate Tour is like when Neighborhood came out, and then it was Hot Chocolate Tour, which is more like fun and
Yeah, with the skits and stuff, yeah. Which video was after? Yeah, right. Pretty sweet. But that was almost 10 years afterwards, though.
Yeah, that's way after, because then they have... Oh, yeah, because Fully Flared, it made them really busy.
Yes, definitely.
That's why. It's a big gap, which makes more sense.
And it's right in the middle because it's 2003, yeah, right? 2007, Fully Flared. 2012, Pretty Sweet, yeah. So we were talking about you being deported, and so you went back to Spain, and of course you must have been super bummed about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And so you decided to quit chocolate because you didn't want to be a burden for them. Like you felt like being in Spain, you couldn't like film tricks in the States like you had been doing for the years prior to that. And so you decided to call Rick Howard and told him like, I'm just going to get off chocolate and I don't want to be a burden for you.
Yeah, exactly like that. I mean, just to think about all the NTSC cameras, like I thought it wouldn't be possible. Maybe I was stupid. Maybe I should just. I think they will still support me. That's the thing.
What was like Rick's reaction when he called you? Was he like, no?
I think
like,
he was
stay
shocked.
with us or something, or was he?
He was in shock. He was like, he was super nice. Like, you need a couple minutes to think what I just told him. Also, you know, like. That didn't matter his reaction was because he will think about it later and decide what, but I think he told me the doors are open for you always, you know?
Yeah,
sort of
nice.
with those words or with some similar words at the end, you know? His reaction was like, he told me we were family, you know? Mm-hmm. His reaction was always like, he was in shock. Like he didn't know, at first he was like, yeah. He knows I was speaking better English, okay? But not so good, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, but we understood. We always understood each other enough. But his reaction, he was kind of like in shock too. Like he don't know what to say because he's also from Canada, but he didn't experience something like that. I don't think he got deported ever. But
yeah.
But it was a big problem for them. And maybe actually talking about this, if I was American, maybe they would just put me on earlier and pro.
Yeah.
But that was also an how do you say, an impediment.
Like an obstacle or? Like
an obstacle for not being like, just put them on right now. Like, I didn't have working visa. Of course, they will fix it for you but they still, Girl and Chocolate is like a big family, you know, and it's friends. And they still, before doing that, you need more years of relationship.
Yeah, you need to build that relationship and this trust and for sure.
Yeah. They know me now and they see that I'm with them always.
You're part of the family now, yeah, of course. So you were in Spain, so you decided to quit chocolate. Of course, as I said, you must have been very disappointed and sad to leave, but you felt like that was maybe the best decision to do at the time. And so you were writing for a Spanish brand called Nomad for a while. I don't know if they're still around, actually. I'm not sure.
I think no, maybe not. It was good, you know. It was good, but because I was with Raúl Navarro, Dani again, we went back to the same...
Louis Passin, right?
Yeah.
He was also on, wasn't he also on
he was in
Neighborhood?
He was in Neighborhood, yeah. It was good. We did a couple tours. It was fun. Actually, to be honest, it was super nice because it was being at home, enjoying skating, able to eat the Spanish food as well, but keep skating, getting some money to support yourself and keep skating more, and it was a nice time, man. It was a nice It was a nice time, but of course the motivation is not the same. But it was more it was another motivation. This one was more natural motivation, no pressure. But that pressure sometimes is good, you know.
Yeah, it pushes your skating. Yeah.
I don't think I will do switch flip, switch crooks for Nomads, you know, in a raid.
yeah.
No, also because the spot, you know, so the spot.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah. You really pushed yourself even more for chocolate because it's chocolate, and Nomad was a bit more laid back.
Yeah, and then some people don't understand that, but I understand that, and some people outside of me understand that too. Mm-hmm, but yeah, it was nice. But of course, after being in chocolate, man, it's hard to go to somewhere else, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially after leaving like this, like you never planned for this to happen. It was all very quick, like you being deported and stuff, like, and you had to make big decisions right away. It was
it was shocking me, man. That it was really bad news for me. Like, what? Oh my God, back to Spain and I can't come back. Like my whole world changed upside down in 1 minute.
Yeah, exactly.
I was sweating. I was sweating in that office, man, and I was sent back to Spain the same day. Like I sleep one night there, not with handcuffs, you know, but not with that, but also like I couldn't leave if I wanted to. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy story.
That must have been a weird trip.
I was in downtown LA that night. I could see through the bend. It has holes, you know, like you couldn't really see through the bend. So they took me from the airport to downtown to sleep and come back the next morning to the airport again, and I could see LA's freeway and everything.
Oh, that's kind of cruel because like you could see.
Oh my God!
What you couldn't access anymore,
Chicos,
and you knew that the next day you were leaving.
Away,
so.
I'm near to girl, you know, and I'm in a bend, really dark, small bend with metal chairs, with a lady for Korean Airlines also crying about I don't know what. Okay. Maybe he had a house in LA and she's living there, but she's not telling anyone. And she's crying. She's wearing the student's uniform, you know, the
like
Korean Airlines.
Yeah,
she's crying the hell out, like, and then an English guy who was there for the first time, and he didn't have a return flight, and that's why he was deported. And we were all in the same situation. The British guy was older. He was like probably around 40 when I was 20 something, you know, and he was just like a really serious man, you know, like nice guy, and.
Yeah, so strange to be in this room with these people and
they're all different from different places, different.
Yeah, with different stories but the same.
And
like you're all getting kicked out. Basically.
Crazy jet lag too. Like this? I'm dreaming. Like it's this.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was insane, but good experience.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely must have learned a lot from that for sure.
Yeah, it was tough. You learn how to be tough because you know. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Cry? No, you can't cry. You just have to see what's next.
So when you went back to Spain, did you go back to Madrid? Because I know that you lived in Barcelona for a long time, and now you're living in Copenhagen, and we'll talk about that eventually. But when you were deported, did you go back to Madrid and stay there for a bit, and then a couple of years later went to Barcelona?
Yeah, when I got deported, I went back to Madrid, lived with my mom. Dani was with one step in Los Angeles and one step in Madrid. Actually, he was back in Madrid. Yeah. But Dani was all over, man. Me too. But after I got deported, I settled down a little bit in Madrid. But Dani was like Madrid, Barcelona, Alicante to see his family. Maybe LA. But Dani was in Madrid living with Musta, our homie from Madrid, who actually lived in Barcelona as well later. But then, I stayed in Madrid. I worked for a little bit in a hospital where my father works and my mom works. They both work there, and they put me to work there.
Okay.
But I will work only I was a substitute. You know, like when people are in vacation, actually. So I will work in Christmas and summer sometimes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Every now and then, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was good. You don't work a lot, and you start at 9 in the morning or 8 and leave at 3, and I will go to Cologne after to skate. I was skating really good, actually, when I was working. I was skating a little bit better. I was more hungry for tricks. Skating.
You had less time to skate and probably...
Oh my God, I was floating. I would take my stupid uniform on the hospital and throw it away. I grab my clothes, go skating, and I would skate like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah,
like really, cool. I remember that, and that's why it kept me going, because I just didn't. Okay, now I'm not able to go to LA. I quit skating because now I learned the lesson from when I was younger that wasn't what I skate for. I need to skate or I get depressed.
Yeah, it's part of your life balance. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not about being pro or skating in California. It's about
it helps
something
and
bigger.
It's nice. It motivates you to do more crazy tricks. But of course, you need to also in a day to day. If I skate for fun, also I need to try something kind of good for me, at least for my level. But yeah, I need that. I need to feel good. You know, it's just that I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and exercising, of course, but it brings you this, the happiness that the sport gives you. Dopamine.
Dopamine, endorphins.
Endorphins, that's what I was trying to say, yeah. All that, but also the creative thing, so I just need to do it, man. I still need to do it as much as before.
So, at what point did you decide to move to Barcelona?
It's a little bit like the LA thing, but in a smaller version, because I would just go back and forth. Not that I'm gonna stay legal in Barcelona, you know, but I will be over. I will be over after, because Madrid and Barcelona are so different, and I had to learn how to live in Barcelona before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Madrid, it was more what I know. People tend to like things that they know. It's normal. It's a natural thing. So I knew about Madrid. I knew how it works. I'm comfortable. But I still love Barcelona, but it was a couple of days and then, okay, I have to go back to normal, man, because Barcelona is crazy sometimes. You know, like there's things that I don't see in Madrid as much, and I like that too. Madrid is a bigger city too, so it's not that it's a little town. But it's more classic in a way. Nothing is better. You know, people ask me, what do you like better, Madrid or Barcelona? And I like both as much, but they're different. Yeah. I don't like Madrid more than Barcelona. I like Barcelona also. I don't like Barcelona more than Madrid. They're really different. I love Madrid. I really love Madrid. I love Barcelona as well. And I moved little by little, you know. And for Nomad, I will go film. Maybe we go to Valencia, somewhere else too, you know. Okay. But my base was in Madrid. But then I will start going to Barcelona and stay a long time there at Dani's house. Actually, Patsy's house, the owner of Patsy Pardiñas, the owner of Dogway magazine. I don't know if you heard of it. Dogway magazine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We will live with him.
Okay.
Super cool, super nice friend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always do good things for skating as well, you know, to maintain his magazine and just to support good skaters and friends too. So I would stay with them months, a month maybe. After that I would I need my own pillow. This is crazy, you know, like. But it's fun, man. Everything was fun, you know. I don't need a lot, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I needed privacy sometimes, but the first days are always more tough. Like, oh shit, where is it here?
It takes some adjustment.
You get used to everything, man. If they put me in a jail, I will get used to a jail. I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not dying. You know, like. No, I'm not saying Patsy's house was jail, but yeah. So I moved. It was one day when I was in Sands Station, if you know the spot.
Yeah, of course.
Where I was skating and like, at this period I will wear headphones to skate.
Yeah,
I know it's not really social, man, but I don't know. The music does something to me when I skate that is, oh my God. Sometimes it's insane, and it doesn't have to be any song in special, but I think the rhythms make me something that it doesn't stop me, you know?
Yeah.
And now I was there in Sands and I was skating and I was realizing like, dude, I'm skating a little bit more here than when I'm in Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
In Madrid, I have a lot of distractions of friends who don't skate from the past. Those guys, but also because they're really fun and it's like family as well. But it's a lot of going out. Like it's another culture, you know. Like a lot of clubs, a lot of these things, you know.
Yeah.
I have to go away. Also, family problems sometimes, like we all get along, me and my brothers, but at home there's always these argues, and I have to leave, man. I couldn't help them. I try to be there, help them. I have to leave. I was skating better in Barcelona. I was being selfish, and I left. But also, it was time for me to leave. I'm not gonna live with my mom. I will leave to Madrid, to another house sooner or later as well. But I decided to go to Barcelona because everything was easier for me.
Yeah.
It was a lot of more spots. There's a lot of spots in Madrid, but it's different. In Barcelona, they're more together, or people know their routines already because the other guy, because there's more. So it's easier. It's in your plate, It's like
it's like a giant skate park.
And then people is you take this metro. It's there in Madrid. You still have to you're more in your own. Where's the spot? Nobody knows. You have to drive, or you can take the train. But there is crazy spots in Madrid too.
Yeah.
Like in Barcelona, but it's different. The skating scene, the filmers.
Oh yeah.
There is also good filmers, but there is two, and Barcelona was a lot, and plus they will come all the time. Freak.
Yeah. Especially at that time, Barcelona was exploding in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, so it was like being in the States a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
In that way,
So eventually the whole Lakai team came to Spain filming for Fully Flared, because we didn't talk about Lakai, but you got on Lakai, I believe, when it started, or very early on. So that must have been around 2000 or early 2000s. And so were you still riding for Lakai even after you got deported when you were in Spain? Were you still getting Lakai shoes?
Yeah, that always, I get that. I don't know why I did that and not the chocolate thing.
The board sponsor is a different thing, especially at that time. Riding for a board sponsor was a big thing, whereas shoes was a bit more
exactly. It was secondary, or depends. Some people were living more from the shoe sponsor, but it was a few only. Rodrigo Teixeira, who is my friend also, he was making good money to live from that, But not everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't the main sponsor yet. For those who were good enough or lucky. Not lucky, I don't say nobody's lucky, but it was a few were
making good money from shoes.
Pro model shoes, exactly. That was a good check for those guys, and that was their main sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
Also the boards and the watches, whatever. Not too many energy drinks yet. But yeah, I kept Lakai as a flow team as well. I was in the flow team before I couldn't go back when I was in filming for Your Ride. You can see I'm wearing Lakai. And I kept that for a long time. I wouldn't order too often. Kelly Bear was the team manager back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was talking to, and he was always nice. Every time I ordered shoes, he was super stoked to send me. But it was good. But in one point, I got an offer for some other skate shoe brand.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't really into it. But I got an offer. But I told Kelly, kind of like I told Rick, hey, maybe thanks for all these years, but just to have something closer, in Europe, and make it easier for me and for them, for everybody. But then he actually said, no, wait, really? No, don't do that. Maybe I can pay you a little bit. I wasn't asking for money. I was just trying to move on, and also maybe it was opportunities for me later, and just want to keep skating. I just want to keep skating always.
Right, yeah.
And so then he was like, no, actually we were going to Málaga with Scott and Papalardo and French Connection,
Yep.
And we're gonna have a filmer from Italy.
Oh yeah, Federico.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That comes later, but it's also nice. So Kelly was like, really? I was thinking to bring you there and you can film a little bit for the Lakai video as well. I was like, what? That was a little bit wow, that sounds motivating again.
Yeah, definitely.
Not wow, I made it, but it's I was just always all the time looking for that motivation, extra motivation for me to keep going, and that was also, it motivated me more than the other offer here in Europe.
Okay.
And then, that happened. They went to Málaga, they fly me there from Barcelona. Maybe I was in Madrid. I think I was already living in Barcelona, probably.
Okay.
So I came, I brought Dani with me also. Dani was, I don't know if Dani was with shoes. He skated for Ion for a
Oh,
while.
yeah, I remember that brand. I liked that brand when it came out, yeah. That was short-lived, though, yeah? It was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Just a couple years.
Yeah.
Flo Marfang was skating for them, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Baratiero.
Franck Baratiero, yeah. Some pretty dope European tech skaters, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. William? No, I don't know if William Fan was.
I think so, yes. William Fan.
It's different. Yeah, it's crazy because it's similar to square wheels.
Yeah,
So I get confused.
Wasn't it the same company?
Yeah, probably because a lot of the skaters were. What was the other guy? Tall. Was it Matthias?
Isn't it a Swedish, Norwegian guy or
Oh
something?
yeah, but that's Henning Bratten.
Henning Bratten.
Bratten. Yeah, he was in both too.
Yeah.
But he was also a French guy, but a
Tall guy?
really tall. Yeah.
Oh, Baptiste Misor, maybe,
Baptiste.
no?
Baptiste.
Oh, I
Matthias.
haven't thought about him in a minute.
Baptiste. Wow. Yeah, me too until now. But yeah.
Yeah, he's been off the radar for a long time now.
Yeah, man. Good skaters. And William Fan, man. Amazing skater.
So that other offer was to ride for Aeon then?
No. Yeah, it was DC Europe.
Okay.
But
you weren't that interested?
I mean, I knew the Lakai guys already. It's easier for me. It's like it's chocolate. It's not, but
it's the closest thing.
Yeah, like I'm always gonna like that, you know.
Sure.
I like DC as well, but
I think it was you did good by sticking with Lakai for sure.
Yeah. I thought about it sometimes. Wow, I did really good.
Yeah.
Like,
that was a very good decision. Yeah.
Because then I got in chocolate after that because of that, you know. I wouldn't if I went to other DC or Aeon. I would probably not, and not because it's the same owners, but because I was in fully flare and with a good part.
Yeah,
not because
amazing.
It's the same with we give you a pack. No, it's not that. They really separate the things, you know. From Lakai and chocolate is different things, you know, for them as well. But I think I had a good part. So if I had that good part somewhere else, they will also put me back in chocolate. But I was lucky to be inspired and do it for Lakai and had a good part there for.
The whole video is incredible, of course. When it came out, I remember watching it for the first time and being completely mind blown. Even just the opening sequence with the slow-mo and the explosion.
No,
and stuff.
yeah.
The whole video is pretty incredible. The lineup,
Yeah.
all the skaters, and also like we mentioned JB and Lucas had amazing.
Yeah,
an
I really
amazing
like
shared
that part
part.
too.
Yeah. Like Lucas is one of my all-time favorites as well. So
Definitely, man, Lucas.
and your part was, again, incredible. Some pretty mind-blowing tricks in there. But yeah, so you went on that Malaga trip, as you mentioned. You reconnected with some of the Lakai people, but some of them also skated for chocolate and stuff. So
yeah, exactly. I reconnected with Kelly in person because we kept talking, but it was also nice to see him there and nice to Scott. And then Lucas, I knew them and of them, and they knew about me, of course, because we are from Europe and all of us, we're internationally known from skaters, you know, and I knew of, but we met more in that trip, actually, and I met Dani Lebron in that trip more. Dani Lebron was there.
Yeah.
Nick Jensen, was he there?
The royal family.
But yeah, he was there, but, but quickly. JB wasn't there, something with his foot.
Okay.
So I was like, and I knew him from LA, but I met JB more in LA at first, but we were not as friends as we were later, you know? After Fully Flare also, when he moved to Barcelona. But I knew him from LA as well and hang out with him. That trip was good. To be honest, I don't skate really good in tours. Maybe I would now because it's something I had to learn as well. I don't know, the tours you're out of your place, maybe you don't sleep the same way, you have this pressure, but sometimes, you know, I didn't realize you just have to skate, man. And then it comes, when you're sweating, when you're in the apartment thinking you have to do a trick or this, it makes you nervous, you know, you shouldn't think about nothing. And then just do all you can later when it's time to do it. But I was a lot like thinking ahead too much. But it came out good. Like I didn't film like a lot of tricks, but it was good enough. Like I filmed some tricks. They're in the video actually in Fully Flare, but one it was the Fakie hard flip switch frontside 5. I'm going in Fakie and a metal edge there in Malaga, and I copied that from Henry Sanchez. He was doing that nollie.
Oh, okay.
And I like that he was doing that nollie in a 20 sequence video.
Oh yeah.
I copied that from him and I did it Fakie because I wouldn't do it nollie. It would be harder for me, but Fakie, yeah. So it's the same, but Fakie. He did another.
Is it the one you did to switch 180 out?
Yeah, in another video later, I do it to switch 180 out because I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, I'll do something that I did, but I changed a little bit. Something.
Okay. I don't remember that. So it's just Fakie hard flip, front, switch frontside 5-0, Fakie nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's quit. It's a single. It was a line, but it didn't make any sense because the hardest trick is at the beginning, and then I keep going through the plaza doing tail slice and switch flips and whatever, not heels. But the most interested, it was the first trick, so they just put the first one. But it was actually a long line, a backside tail slide over a dirt gap. But I was starting with Fakie hard flip.
It's probably easier to do that trick first because if you have to do that at the end of a long line, then
and that's why it's not like that. It just should do it the other way, you know.
Throw it out there and then do the more simple tricks afterwards. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like nice, man. Kelly was like William filmed that line actually. Strobeck, you know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the only time I filmed with him. Yeah, he was there.
What was he doing on our Lakai trip?
They just hired someone from, maybe it was closer to the East Coast to fly him. I don't know. I'm thinking the same sometimes, like, oh, why it was him, you know?
Okay, yeah, but that's cool though.
Because he's definitely a super good filmer.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe that's why, but also that's when I met Federico. He was there also, and that's when I met Feds.
And you filmed a big portion of your part with him, right?
Yes.
Like all the Milan tricks were with him?
All the Milan, all the Barcelona. I don't know, maybe I have some few tricks from somebody else, but I don't really. I think most Federico. Ty, of course I have filmed tricks with Ty, but only when they were here for a couple of times. So, and maybe I wasn't that lucky to get something when they come for 10 days, you know. So if I was lucky, I got a trick. But yeah, fully flare I'm confusing, man. Sometimes they look the same. Those two videos, very sweet and fully flare, but and the situations behind the cameras are the same too. Like we're in Milan with the Girl and Chocolate crew, but also the fully flare with the Lakai crew. Yeah. We're in Milan as well, but so it's some similarities. But yeah, I filmed some stuff with Ty too, but mostly it's Federico.
Okay.
100%, almost all. We will have to watch it and go through to tell you. Like, okay, I remember what I filmed with who.
Yeah, with who.
I don't remember the whole part right now, but yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But definitely, Feds give me an extra motivation. Really in Malaga already. He will have more confidence than I did to myself, but I need to hear that. I needed to hear that from someone else, because then if he was talking like that, I knew he will be down for my type of skating that I take long for filming tricks and this, and so I knew he will be a great partner to film with, a good filmer to film with, because the motivation he was giving me just in a dinner. The last few days in Malaga, I have dinner with him in a Spanish restaurant, whatever, really nice, and he would talk to me and like, I'm gonna speak to Kelly that I'm gonna go to film with you in Barcelona. I was like, fuck, and my level of like motivation to try to do something, a new project or something, or for we were talking about the Lakai video, so, and I was gonna have as a European, I was in French Connection, I was in Royal, what was
you were the only, it was the royal family for Danny Brady and Nick Jensen.
Yeah, royal family.
Were you I guess you were the only Spanish skater, right?
Yeah, so, but I didn't have a group of, maybe in one point they were thinking like, we should put some more and then make something, Spanish something.
Yeah, Spanish something like they did with France and the UK.
Yeah, not a Spanish connection, nothing, because but something Spanish, something, you know.
Yeah, they would have come up with something funny and yeah.
But they wouldn't put just whatever because they have to put Spanish, so they will. Let's see if it happens, and then but keep filming, and so definitely I was gonna have a trick in the videos, or maybe I was gonna have a trick and a French connection as a friend, floating.
Oh, so you didn't know if you were gonna have a full part? You just
no,
knew you
no
were
way.
Gonna have
I was gonna have film a couple tricks. I mean, Federico had in his head that I was gonna have a full part. Okay. But I was like, okay, let's see if you're down, like you're saying, because it's work, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was later on. He was down.
And I wanted to ask you about one trick in there, your ender, of course, like the Fakie 360 flip to switch crooks. That's in Barcelona, right?
It's in Barcelona, yeah.
I was wondering how much of a struggle was that? Because like that seems like just a fucking impossible trick to land. Like
it is impossible, man. I did it once. Actually, I did it a couple times, but not good enough to
film it.
Use it. one of those, they go, well, maybe we could cut it. Like, but it was sometimes the ones that I was thinking maybe we could cut the you know, like
the landing,
you know. Yeah, but it was good enough. Maybe I just touched the bench with my leg or something, and it made me stop, you know, because he was gonna cut my cuffs, you know, the bench, so I have to jump out, you know. But some of those were better, man, longer. The whole bench, I was like, you know, like. But then I was happy with the one I did also.
Oh yeah,
because it was shorter. It was short, but it was not. It's popping out, so it's.
Yeah.
But man, that trick, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
That trick, I did it. Basically, I did it good enough. It was one time, and I wouldn't try again because I have blisters in the bottom of my foot for not landing on the board, you know, landing on the bench with my foot with so many times, and I will grow a blister there in a corner on my shoe, you know, inside the corner, and I will have to stop doing it until it heals. Then I tried for like 3 hours, and I told Federico, I'm not trying this again. But don't worry, you'll get it. Always super positive. Like, he could see it from the outside, so maybe he saw something I didn't see. I will just saw the negative things, you know, like, I'm not gonna do it, man. It's because also when you're tired, the thinking is different. You're thinking tired.
Your judgment is like completely,
Yeah, you're dehydrated. You don't have that energy. Like, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
But he will still have that a little bit of that energy.
Okay.
After filming, but it will be a little bit pressure on me. Like, okay, maybe I have to say yes. Yeah, okay. But I was thinking, I don't try anymore. We try something else. But that helped me to do it. So Feds pushed me to do it, and he always saw that I could do it, and that helps me, of course. That he was pressuring me to do it.
Yeah. Well, thank God he pushed you, because that trick alone was pretty mind blowing.
Thank you, man.
And so, as you were filming for Fully Flared, at what point did the conversation about getting back on chocolate, when did that happen? Like, and how did that happen? Like, did you talk to Rick, or did you talk with other people first? Like, how did it all happen, that going back to chocolate?
Yeah, when we were filming for Fully Flared, we started in Málaga, then Federico came to stay with me in our place. It wasn't even my place, but it was our place, like Lebron and Alex Brasa from... now he's doing a Magba live, you know, Alex Brasa.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was my roommate, and Lebron as well. And sometimes Mac, another friend, Edu. Mac, we had a big house with a long hallway in Gran Via in Barcelona. And Federico stayed with us and this and that, but... one of the times at the end of Fully Flared or soon, we always thought it was the end, but it was more after, you know, it was longer. But I always thought it was like, okay, next month is coming. I was asking, dude, man, is this a trick to like make us skate more or so what? Because it was like always like, no, the deadline is 3 months, and then I went 3 months and 3 months and like like that for years, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But that's good, man. That's actually really good. But one of those times, but it was pretty much at the end. Guy and Rick came to stay with Oliver Barton
in Barcelona.
You know, the photographer. Yeah.
Okay.
Near where I live, and around that time, also Fetch was living with Oliver, because in my house it was not more room, and yeah.
Okay.
And the cameras and all that. Federico had a lot of gear.
Oh yeah.
It was insane. He had this. He brought a projector. He came in a boat from Italy.
Oh yeah. I remember you talked about this. Yeah.
Good times, man. It's so good.
And so you were saying that Rick and Guy were staying with Oliver Barton, right?
Yeah.
So at what point did you talk with them about getting back on chocolate? Yeah,
it was like one of the times when they were there. We skate and...
So that was after Fully Flared, or was that towards the end of the filming?
It's still filming for Fully Flared. So I was in chocolate before the deadline and before the premiere. I was already in chocolate.
Oh, okay.
I was already in chocolate and you know, like good back in chocolate, man. But it happened like one day after skating in Barcelona. I always have to go with Fed somewhere. We needed to pick up something from FedEx, and it was like, come with me in the car, and we talk. And so I drive along with Feds to get this FedEx envelope. I don't know what it was, but something for filming, probably some tapes, or I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
But he was telling me like, Jesus, can be annoying sometimes, you know. I remember he grabs like hard, you know. He grabbed my leg, and he was like, I got some good news, man. Oh my god, he's so Italian, you know. He's like, oh my god, Mom, you can't believe this. And I was like, what is it? What is it? What, Fritz? And he told me, like in a funny way, you know, like, you in chocolate, man, you back in chocolate. Like, what? And at first I didn't really get happy. I don't know why.
Just shock, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, because it was.
Surprise.
I got used to it. You know, it's like when you. I think it was. I don't know. I have a hope for the Lakai thing, but I was like, but I'm a Nomad now. I was okay in Nomad. I thought I was gonna be Lakai and Nomad, but I was like, but I can go to the States. You know, I still couldn't go to the States. It was like maybe 3 more years, or maybe if it was at the end of the Lakai, because I filmed for 2 years, it would be 3 more years and a half, or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was really like, really? And that's what happened. I was in chocolate and I couldn't go back, but it was still doable now, I guess.
Okay.
I felt honored about it because I was like, whoa, I'm in chocolate and I'm not even going there to US, and like, I'm in chocolate. But of course it was tough, and I'm gonna be honest, it's tough sometimes. It's tough because I have so much in me that I can try, and talking about tricks and stuff, you know, or like, and I couldn't do it when they were not there, when Feds wasn't there. Federico wasn't there all the time sometimes, you know, he had to go to the States as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then that was super tough, like, I would slow down my creativity, if you want to say that, or my whatever. I would have to retain it. I couldn't express it. I couldn't try it, the tricks. I could try, but sometimes the filmers here
they didn't motivate you the same way that Federico did?
Yeah, or like people work in another thing and they can film for 10 minutes and go back to something else, and then they send the footage. I don't like that. He films okay, but those settings are crazy, or like, my God, man.
No, but I see what you mean. Like, it brought a special energy from you being with Federico, with all the Lakai chocolate people, and skating and filming with them. It brought the best out of you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it wasn't good when you were with other people, but it was maybe not as good.
Yeah. No, I haven't really met someone like that. Ty as well. Socrates. Yeah, I mean, I filmed with Mesa. With Mesa was the same, but unfortunately I only filmed with him one time. I don't know why.
Okay.
And listening to the podcast the other day, I was like, what? I never really filmed with him. And I know him a lot, you know, we talk about everything, and he's a really good friend. And I'm like, why I never really... But it's me, because also it was like, you know, the editor of the magazines and all that, so he wasn't really...
That's true.
But yeah. I tried to film with him.
He was filming a little bit before you got on chocolate and everything. Like the videos that he made, like the FTC videos and stuff, that was like early to mid 90s. So yeah, that was a little bit before your time. And not to say that he wasn't filming afterwards, but he wasn't filming as much, I feel like.
Yeah, but he's still, in the deadlines, he was always there sometimes, like, even just hanging out and like pushing. If he wasn't filming, he was telling the skater, like, I keep going, you got it, or like, yeah, he was supporting and filming. When Ty was tired, he will film. He was also filming switch flip cruise.
Oh, yeah.
With me. Same, kind of same angle. Yeah. I landed it with Ty at the end. But yeah, Mesa was trying for a day with me also as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I only get that with those guys, and with Fez the most, of course. And he will brainwash me, if you can say that. Like, come on, you got this, like a motivator, you know, like in a good way, you know.
Yeah.
But also Ty, man, Ty, it's not excuse. It's not excuse. Like, maybe you're tired, right, Ty? Like, no, never. Like, he will like not make you feel that like, hey dude, it's too much. Never stop.
Yeah, he's a
crazy
machine. Yeah.
Oh, he was crazy at least.
Well, especially filming for that video, there's been a lot of talks about how brutal it kind of got for some skaters during the filming, especially towards the end. There was a lot of pressure building up, and
but for me it was a good pressure. I know some, but sometimes, you know, there's people are tired, this and that, but yeah, I didn't feel, because my type of skating, I took too long. I'm not skating like that anymore, because then you lose some kind of interest on skating as well if you do it a lot, you know?
Yeah.
It becomes to like Chinese factory tricks then.
Yeah.
But like, it worked for me to get those new tricks. I don't think I invented any tricks, but everything was invented, you know? I more like combined this trick here and there and put them together and maybe think I had a new trick, but I didn't invent any tricks. I did tricks that combinations of tricks.
Yes, you invented combinations. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought it would be cool to invent a trick like the Jesus trick or something, but I haven't. You know, like a not a combination trick, but like some kind of move, like somebody who invented ollie or impossible, or like Sasuke grind, to have a trick like that.
Yeah, a trick named after you.
Or like a hippie jam or something, but I never. I wish I wanted to. I still want to do it. I still want to invent a
It's
Jesus
not too late.
trick.
Yeah, there's still
It's
time
not
for
late.
you to invent
I'm thinking about it
Jesus
sometimes.
trick.
I'm still thinking about it, but it's hard. I was like, what can I do? But combinations are good for me. I can combine because I like also technique trees. So I was saying that Federico was emotionally in the car, like, you're gonna get in chocolate, and I had like a doubt. Are you sure this sounds like I can go back? But at the end, I was excited, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back to have some food with Oliver at their place, and Rick was there, and it was a funny situation in the kitchen, in Oliver's kitchen, and Fede was like, go to the kitchen, he's gonna talk to you. And I was like, weird, you know.
What's
like,
going on?
yeah, because I don't know, these things are funny, you know, sometimes to talk about it.
Yeah, well, skateboarding is so informal, I guess, and to all of a sudden be all like serious about it, it's a bit strange.
Yeah, but it was at the end it turned out really good, and it was so simple. Rick was in the kitchen, he was like, yeah, Jesus. He always punched me, you know, like to break the ice, you know, like he's a hard puncher always.
What did he tell you? Did he tell you like just we want you back on?
Yeah, we thought it would be nice. Yeah. I mean, you're skating amazing. You're getting some footage together, man. Let's get you back in chocolate. And I was like, what can I say, man? Of course. Of course.
But did you hesitate? Because as you said, you had been skating for Nomad for a bit, and you said that the situation with them was going pretty well, so...
Maybe that's what I wanted, to end up in chocolate, actually, but it was too fast for me that I was like... I was thinking it was gonna be... I'm a slow person, in general, you know? And I waited if I had to, and I want the right moment for everything, also to come out with a video part. I want to do it slow, no stress, and like... do it good rather than...
do a good thing and take your time doing it well.
But it wasn't a bad news. It was amazing. But maybe I think it took me a while to get happy. I don't know. I'm slow. I'm telling you, I'm slow. I didn't get happy like Feds right away. A little bit, but other part right away, I turned it to like, there must be something now. Like, I don't know. It's because my situation that I got deported and all that. So it made me feel like it was something difficult. It was hard. It's difficult. It's impossible. Or like, But and maybe if I was able to go to the States, I wouldn't think that way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But because I couldn't go back, I was like, yeah, but it's going to be hard. How I film with you when you leave, or like, because Fed was going to leave sooner or later, you know? To the States to film. But other than that, I was super stoked, of course, and I say yes, and it was amazing, man. I'm so glad that happened.
What about turning pro? Because as you mentioned earlier, like before you got deported, you were an AM for chocolate. You weren't pro yet.
Yeah.
But you were pro before for neighborhood, and I guess you must have had some pro boards on Nomad.
Yeah.
Did they turn you pro right away, or did that take a bit of time as well after that conversation with Rick about getting back on chocolate?
Yeah, no, it took a while. We never talked about it. I didn't think... I thought I have to do fully flare or whatever, and then work really seriously. I thought it was seriously that one too, but I thought I was like, okay, the next one is gonna be the good video part, you know, after fully flare. But I never really got to work. After that, it was hard, the situations, you know. Fed wasn't there. It was more in the States. I go to the States, but... it's a long story, but maybe I was older. I didn't have kids yet, but it wasn't that easy to film afterwards.
Okay.
I didn't have no one to film until the end. Then I found Nicky Walt from Austria.
Oh, yes.
Another super good filmer who motivated me as well. Feds found him for me, or Nicky found Feds to film with me. I don't know how they did it, but it was amazing. Nicky won an Oscar actually lately, you know? An Oscar.
Wow.
It's crazy, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
But he was a really good skating filmer as well, of course. But, okay, I turned pro the day... So I went to a premiere in London of the Fully Flare.
The Fully Flare?
I went to one in Italy as well, and in Madrid as well, in my hometown. And in London, I think the first one was in London, where was Lucas and all, and of course everybody from London and from some other people. It was actually people from Denmark as well there too.
Okay.
But it was my part, it came out, and I could hear Lucas in the back of me. He was sitting behind me, And when I say I didn't come to Leon to break your visa,
yeah.
he knows I was trying to imitate Al Pacino from Scarface. So he was like, "Whoa, Scarface!" Like right behind me, you know. I was so embarrassed, like what? But it was funny anyway. But then, so I land my last trick, and people are excited, you know, like yeah, fake it treflips, like, and the music, and then people are still clapping, and Feds with his phone. I don't know if it must be iPhones back then, right? But I don't know.
2007, maybe, yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. People are still clapping. I'm like, okay, the feedback is good. People like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that you always want to do more, you know, but it's good enough. But you always want other things, you know, because you already did it, so you want more, you know. But anyways, so I do the last trick, and Fed saw me in his phone my chocolate board.
Oh, no way. During the premiere, like right after your part.
And I didn't know. It was like one of those surprise, you know, the people do now, like, and we have a barbecue, or like, and then it's your board. But for me, it was like that. Like, it was the board for Evan Echoes with the faces, you know, the welcome chocolate board. Normally they do the first one with your face.
Yeah.
That was the one, and Federico saw me right after I landed my last trick. So everything was together at the same time. The part, the reaction, and then the board. So it was, dude, chill. It's too much right now.
A lot of emotions.
Wow. It was. I still remember that moment. It was beautiful. It was nice, you know, like Federico has a good. That's a really nice detail, you know, that he will do that. Like in that moment, he could have done it before or later, but he thought about it.
Also,
like,
having him do it because he was the guy who filmed you a lot for that fully flared part.
Yeah, exactly.
Not saying that it wouldn't have been good that if it was Rick or Mike or someone else.
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. I never really asked him, how did you plan this or nothing, but I assumed that it was just nice, and I love it.
Yeah.
So that's when I got pro, like in the premiere, or before probably, but I didn't know.
So you've been pro before, but pro for chocolate for 16 years, I guess.
That's since Fully Flare, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I was there before, of course.
Yeah.
Everything comes to me, even from the Chico days, you know? So, but yeah, it was a period where I was like in Spain and all that, but in the long term, it's like I've been in chocolate forever, yeah.
And to wrap up with Fully Flared, I wanted to ask you, like, what is one kind of very gnarly trick that you witnessed in person during the whole filming of it? Like, was there a trick that you witnessed in Málaga or elsewhere from one of your teammates on Lakai that really blew your mind during the making of the Fully Flared?
See, the thing with Fully Flared is like, I was mostly skating with Feds, and I mean another side, but when they were coming here, but now the hard tricks were there in the US, and I would have to say Cost and Fakie 360 flip in Magba. That will be one.
Someone shared a question for you about that. We can do this one now since you brought it up. It's John Morello.
Okay.
He said, Federico just told us a story about Jesus, filming second angle of Costin's Fakie tray on the Macba 4 blocks and Fully Flared. Ask him about that. Apparently he got distracted by a tweaker.
Yeah, man. I remember that. I thought you were not gonna remember that. Exactly. I don't remember what he wanted, but it was... But did I film it or not? Yeah, right?
Well, apparently, yeah. He said you did, yeah. I don't know if your angle was used in the video. I'm not sure, but... Yeah,
it's kind of like a tripod thing, you know?
Okay.
But I was talking with a guy, and he was in the middle of the camera like, yeah, can you move a little bit? But no, I'm like this. I talk to everyone. It doesn't have to be a skater. Like I start talking to like...
Random people?
Yeah, but it's not a crazy story. It was just that like, when they landed, they look at me, and he looked at me. Probably Custom didn't even look. He don't care.
Yeah.
He wants one angle, and it's good enough for him.
He was focusing on doing the Fakie tray. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and also that too. Yeah, but Feds was looking right away. Is he filming? And then like he saw me talking with the guy, like yeah, nice weather. I don't know, man. You know, or like no, I don't have a cigarette or. But yeah, that was it. Yeah, nothing happened. It was just that I was talking to someone when he landed.
Okay. Was Feds like kind of pissed that you were like distracted and not filming Costin, or?
Is it that? Maybe he was busy with me sometimes, but not really. I knew Feds, like he was like this, like he got confidence with me. I was like his little brother at the end, you know. They call him my father as well sometimes for fun. This guy's Guy and Rick. your father, talking about vets, right? When they talk to me, they will say, your father is here, and like, but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think he got pissed, no. Maybe.
You don't remember him being pissed though? Okay.
Nah, no. If he was pissed, I didn't take it personal or something, you know, like.
So as we mentioned, like you went back to Spain after being deported from the States. You lived in Barcelona for quite a long time. And eventually you moved to Copenhagen. And I believe it's because your wife is from Denmark. And
yeah.
I don't know if she found a job over there or something, or she just wanted to move back to be closer to her family or something. But how did you feel about it at first? Because being in Barcelona is being kind of in the center of the skateboarding industry and world, at least in Europe. Going to Copenhagen, were you a bit reluctant to go there at first, thinking like, is this the best move for my career, kind of, or?
I knew it wasn't the best move for my career. I knew it. My sponsor didn't think like that. They will support me to move. I told them I was probably gonna move there, and they loved the idea. They didn't thought it was an obstacle because they don't really know it in the winter. They know it from Copenhagen Pro.
Yeah, the summer when it's nice and warm. And
yeah. But I still did it. Like my plan, I wanted to move there also. My wife wanted to move there because of work, because we have kids now. We have 2 kids, Billy and Eddie. And
how old are your kids? I think like 13, 14 for Billy, right? Around there?
13, Billy, the oldest is Billy and he's 13. And Eddie, he's going to turn 6 this month.
Oh, nice.
Soon, the 20th, yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to move also because in Barcelona, we don't have family. We were living in Barcelona and we didn't have family there. I mean, we have friends, but we don't have my parents or her parents. So,
yeah.
But it was still closer to Madrid. It was easier. Sometimes I will take a fast train, Ave, which is really fast. It's better than the airplane and it's really convenient, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I will go often, but not that often, you know. But yeah, it was my wife. She was finishing her education and she had more opportunities here.
Okay.
And it's also a good country to raise kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Like all the northern countries, like
yeah, exactly. As far as education and support and activities. So I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was smart to do it and not selfish to do it. But I knew it wasn't good for skateboarding. It was tough.
It must have been a tough decision, yeah.
It was tough for me. And I still don't get used to it sometimes, man. And also, it wasn't tough because I'm from Madrid and I moved to Copenhagen. It's not that. It was my lifestyle, you know? Like not having a place, like just being all over and like changing environments, changing all the time, you know, refreshing. Like I'm over here, I go there. I cannot do that anymore. So I still do it, but short periods, you know, I go for a weekend somewhere to film or like I go to Barcelona or I go to Madrid. I go to the States if I can. I'm going next summer for sure.
Okay, cool.
Maybe with the family too. But I will skate. I'm gonna go skate too.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was tough. And my plan at first it was to like, okay, I'll move there, but I'm gonna be out all the time. But you know, when you have kids, it's not as easy.
Yeah. You can't really go on trips all the time.
Every time I go, like I like to go for shorter trips now because you're missing, especially when they're growing. If they were older now, I will be also an old man. But you know, it's when they're young, you want to spend as much time as you can.
Of course, yeah.
But I can still do it for my love of the skating. I can still go away. Mm-hmm. But also now I have to do a couple things out of skating. You know, I'm helping my friend. I'm learning some new skills out of skating. Mm-hmm. I'm helping my friend. He works for a company. I have a friend here from Mexico. His name is Luis. And I help him. I work at a place called Coloplast, but I'm freelance, you know.
Okay.
So I can skate and I can travel. That's why I like this job because I only help him sometimes with projects, with events in the same place in the headquarters of Coloplast. Okay. They have this big hall. So we're in he is actually in the event department, and I'm an external worker who helps them when he needs me. But he needs me quite often actually, But it's okay. He understands if I'm going for a tour or something, and
yeah, he knows you have other stuff to do.
Yeah, and then we move it, or we do it earlier, and it's prepared for longer time than it was supposed to be. Yeah, but my first plan it was more like moving around and not be here in the winter so much. But once I got here and with the kids, and I do activities for them also, not just for me, and then like the first year I didn't get to travel a lot, and it was hard because it's colder than Spain, it's darker than Spain for longer months. But of course, in the summer, it's the best place, and everyone is like, I wanna move here too. But it's only a little bit, man. It's a month, and then the rest. And you're alone here most of the time. But everyone is something that you have to learn when you're Danish too. I think, like, you not see the people so much in the winter, you know.
And so what are you up to these days? So you're still a pro skater, but you're doing this other thing that you mentioned with was it Luis?
Luis, yeah.
And I heard at some point you were also doing a bit of judging for like street leagues and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did that for a while too with Kelly Hart and Rodrigo Peterson and some others.
I heard somewhere that you were also doing a bit of skate teaching. I'm not sure if you were doing that in Barcelona or if it was in Copenhagen.
No. Or it was only in Copenhagen. I never did that before in Barcelona or never. But I mean, I always did it like for free.
Okay.
I love to share my opinions, my tricks to do it, the things that I think when I'm gonna do a trick. I try to. I love to do that. It's natural in me that I like to do that. I always did it. I teach my brother how to do tricks, the youngest, and I share tricks with friends, and not everybody is the same, and some people don't know how to explain. When the opposite teach me something, not everybody knows how to explain. I have a way to explain. I have to imagine some other things sometimes, you know, to do tricks, like, and I put examples. Sometimes it can be a 180 thing, but I told them like, no, but just think about 90 degrees, and I have some things that helps. So I'll always love to explain,
to teach
how to do tricks. It's in my nature. It's really in my nature, and. I told Dani one time I was gonna teach my brother to do frontside flip, and he was like, "You can't really explain that." And I got mad when he told me. I was like, "No, David." I grabbed my brother and I was like, "You're gonna do it right now?" Like,
first try.
I remember I got pissed with Dani. Like, "What do you mean I can?" And when they told me I can, I'm worst. Then I have to do it, you know. When they told me you can't do something, I get really. But I don't say with words. I don't say to you.
Yeah.
I just will do it, like, to show you, you know. So I explained it, and he did it, and Dani was like, "Okay, I gotta shut up my mouth right now." And he did it in 10 minutes or something. But he was good also. Also, he knew how to skate already, but he didn't learn frontside flip before that. But yeah. But I did skating here a little bit for a while here in Copenhagen.
Okay.
But it's not my thing. I like it to do it for free. I don't.
You don't want it to be a full-time job?
No, and it was also not a full-time job. It was nice. I miss it sometimes. I want to go and bring maybe 80. I probably can go and do it for free, help him a little bit, if my son can go and enjoy the other kids. But it's not something I would like to do for living. And also, you know, I like to teach. I couldn't be a teacher. It's like a teacher in school. I'm sure they think this student is really nice, but this other, it's not like disagreeing anyone, but it's not fun to teach a kid that doesn't want to learn how to skate.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to the area. I don't want to do this, like, you know. But there is kids when, like, I wasn't working, they asked me like, "Hi," and that you can ask me how to do a trick because I'm not gonna stop. I love to share it, and I love to be a teacher in that way. But I don't want to be a teacher of skating, but.
Just a teacher in general is something that you enjoy doing? Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it because I know, if I know some tricks, I just be like, wow, I'm really bad at that trick actually, you know, and I can help you. But when I know, I really like, and you know what I like? To see when they do it. Yeah. Because I help them. I like to help people and with other things too, but I can help them with that. It's easy for me. Like I do it and I get excited. It's nice. But I didn't want to work with that because it was also in the weekends and stuff. And
oh yeah, okay.
And only in vacations and
it's not very easy to accommodate with being a parent and of course.
Yeah, and I still want to bring my kids because it's a nice place. But I'd rather helping my friend Luis and in Coloplast and all that, and use my time for skating, filming for a part or something instead of like teaching. It's good for a little bit, but not when you're have to do it like
your salary depends on it. And
yeah.
And so what do you have coming up? You said earlier that you were filming a bit for is that for chocolate or?
I've been filming for Royal trucks.
Oh yeah.
I'm still skating for Royal, of course. And it's actually for Denmark, Royal Denmark, you know. But it's the same, man. The guys the new kids here. They're coming out with these parts. Their tricks are really, really good. So I want to be part of it. And yeah, it's good because I skate with Rasmus, who's like working also at Plaza and Emporium Dist, the distributors of chocolate and Lakai and Royal, and they motivated me a lot. So we've been out the last few weeks, and I was getting into that wheel again, like not fully flare, but you know, like the same. You know, like okay, you build up something when you go out.
Yep.
You're sore for a couple of days, but yet you're not more sore, and then you started getting tricks and work snares, and yeah, really, really good. So yeah, we're working on that, but that's gonna be a short film for Denmark, and maybe it's gonna be an Instagram. Royal probably put some of our tricks there, and
okay.
And that's pretty much it. Maybe I have to work on my 50-year-old part soon. When I'm gonna be 50, I can start now.
That's not yet though, right? Like,
No,
how old are you now? You're like 45.
I'm 46, yeah.
46, okay.
But I'm thinking if I start now, it could be a crazy...
Yeah.
I want to do it. I want to do it. For a chocolate video or it could be a...
Well, in 4 years from now, maybe Chocolate and Girl will do another video, hopefully.
For sure, yeah. They're probably going to do one before that, but yeah.
Okay, so we can expect a full part from you once you turn 50, but maybe before that.
Before, but I just thought like 50 is more like, okay, so now you're 50, you know, but it's probably going to be before that, but...
Okay.
But let's see, I have to travel some more then, I guess, because here in the winter...
yeah, it's difficult.
It's
yeah.
indoor. But I mean, Barcelona is around the corner, you know, it's like...
Yeah, it's not that far. So before we finish with the friends questions, I usually just wrap it up with one question for me, and that's what's the most valuable lesson that you feel you've learned from skating? Do you have something that kind of comes to mind as a valuable life lesson?
Yeah, for sure one could be you can achieve to any goals in life if you're patient, if you insist, you know, if
persistence.
That makes sense. Persistence and put effort and be loyal to your goals, and like basically not giving up. You can make it. Anything. I'm not talking about being a skater but it could be of course you have to be realistic, you know. But if you are a bit good and loyal, you have to be realistic as well. But I think you can achieve to anything. And that I learned from skating.
Yeah.
But you have to, of course, choose the right thing that gives you the motivation. But it could be like being a doctor. It could be anything. But you have to be persistent and never give up.
Yeah.
That's what skateboard teach me. From filming a trick, from being a pro for chocolate, it was the same. Not giving up. I don't give up. Yeah. I got the trick. I don't give up training to ride for chocolate, so I got on chocolate. It's not that I was a natural talent. I don't think I'm that good, but I'm good at the other thing. Never give up. I'm good at that. Like of course I will give up some days, but the next day I will try, you know, like, and I think I was good at that. Like it's different. There is natural talented people and there's people like me. And maybe you have to have a little bit. My talent is that I wouldn't give up, you know, and I work hard. Or maybe my talent is that like I'm not so good at many things. So if I'm good at something, I'm going for this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm good, but it motivates me as well. So I'm going for that. I'm not saying everybody you should be pro skater but it's what it was for me.
Yeah.
It was there for me for a reason, because the situations, because I found this and I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Okay, let's wrap up with the friends questions. We can go through them pretty quickly. Yeah. So I have a first one here from Aaron Meza. We talked about him earlier.
Oh, yes.
So he said, when you came to LA for the first time, which spot were you the most looking forward to skating? Then he said, which spot did you end up skating first? And who was the first pro you saw? And bonus question, what's it like to have trick for trick, the gnarliest 30 seconds of Yeah Right?
Wow, amazing. Okay, the first, I think I didn't really have one. But yeah, you can have one before you see them but maybe, you know, I was really a fan of golfies and all that already, you know. So the courthouse was good. That courthouse, Santa Monica courthouse, you know.
Yeah.
But also Lockwood. Lockwood is like so. Dude, when I was in Lockwood skating, Lockwood school, right?
Yeah.
Elementary school, I think it is. It's not a high school. When I was there, I was so relaxed. Like that was my playground, you know. I know people say it's like a tough neighborhood or where it was dangerous, but dude, that for me, I was totally relaxed in that place. I don't know what it is, but it's like I actually like that it's not a skate park. That is like a school, you know. But it's almost like a skate park. I don't know how to explain. I really love that place.
Yeah.
Before I went there, and also when I was there, I feel really relaxed. I really like the view. What I see when I'm there, I'm looking. It's a little bit downhill. I look at the bank to bench at the end of the wall, and I like what I see in the back. Also far away, the horizon. I saw these palm trees aligned very nicely, crooked as well, but like almost like the In-N-Out glass. You know, the In-N-Out burger.
Oh yeah.
Those palm trees. You just see that like in the background, you know, and it seems, maybe I'm wrong because I don't know, but it's like a happy place, at least what you see. Of course you will see some poverty around, or like, I don't think it's the ghetto, like it's just a humble neighborhood, you know. Workers, and it's probably changed now also. It's more offices and more, but it's just a humble neighborhood, but it's happy what you see. And in general in LA, it's happy what you see. What your eyes are watching is happy. Maybe it's not, but at least that light, the sun and the palm trees and the it brings me a good feeling in my stomach, you know. So that was a good spot. Santa Monica as well. But in LA it's different, you know, because if we were talking about San Francisco, of course it will be Union Square and EMB, right? But I was there for too late to enjoy that. It was gone.
Yeah, it was already,
Yeah. The first time I was in LA, it was still the old EMB, but I didn't get to go there.
Oh, okay.
I should have gone. But then when I went after, it was already just the 3 stairs like it's now, you know, with the new area and all that.
Yeah.
But if you ask me in LA, I don't know. I think those that I say, Courthouse, Lagoon, Venice Beach, but the old one, not the new skate, but the old one, the Labyrinth, where people will hide to smoke, and the picnic tables where Sonsefi only to the... I like that. I don't know why, but I like that. Also, again, it's like a nice place. It's warm. It's a warm place, you know?
And he asked, which spot did you end up skating first? Do you remember the very first spot you skated? The first time you came to LA?
I think it was probably Sangaps and Venice.
Okay.
Just because we were around there, the airport, like, let's just go there and...
Makes sense, yeah. It's like one of the most iconic ones.
Yeah, we just were there. Oh, actually, because it's not a weekend spot. You can go anywhere, anytime. That's also good. Sometimes you have to wait for the weekend for some spots, like Lockwood and some others.
Yeah.
But you can go there all the time. Also USC, but we didn't get to USC right away, you know?
And he asked, who was the first pro you saw? I guess there was Lance Mountain, but before that...
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the first pro, like either from Spain or from the US?
The first pro that I saw, it must be in Spain, in Madrid, when Paul Peralta came to Madrid and skateboard. Mike McGill, Tony Hawk, Steve Caballero, those guys. And then also Eric Dressen and some others from Santa Cruz. Alan Peterson, and maybe Tom Knox, but the old Tom Knox, you know, from Santa Cruz. Yeah. But I almost forgot about that because it had an impact on me, of course. But I don't like the crowds. I don't like the whoa. Like I like it, but I don't like too much. You know, when it's too much going on, crowded places. So in my mind, when you say what's the first spot, I thought about Mark Gonzalez. I saw him in Madrid.
Oh, nice! Wow.
But it was not a demo. It was not a demo or nothing. He just showed up in the Plaza of Colón where we skate.
Incredible!
And I recognized him right away. Because that was my idol, you know, like
yeah.
And he came to Madrid to see museums. He wasn't skating back then too much. He was skating. He grabbed a board from Francisco and started skating.
Do you remember what year that was?
Yeah, it must be. It was before I went with Enrique to all that. So I was in sessions too. I was with Francisco already. So a couple of years before that competition in Munich and Lance Mountain.
Like,
it was before that.
92, 93.
92, 93. When Mark was like living blind or something, probably.
Yeah.
And he didn't do much. I mean, he always did a lot. Like, it's the best thing that happens to skateboarding, Mark Gonzalez.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So it doesn't matter if he was in... But I think he wasn't skating that much, or at least he didn't skate for like months. Or that's what Francisco was saying. He didn't skate for months and he grabbed a board from Francisco, whatever board it was. It wasn't even a blind or nothing. It was just whatever he had for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he will do frontside blunt slides with his Adidas pants. It was funny. And I don't think he was in Adidas back then, but he will be super cool. And that's why I got frontside blunts from him. When he left, I would start trying front blunts all the time. But he was going so fast.
Oh wow!
And he came to Madrid only to see museums. Maybe we can talk about it one day. I met him before that. I don't think he will remember, but I met him in LA afterwards when I went with Enrique, and he told me, "You from Madrid?" Yeah, I watched a movie of Pedro Almodovar the other day, and I was really impressed. You know who Pedro Almodovar is?
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but back then, not too many people knew.
Yeah.
He didn't won an Oscar or nothing.
Early 90s, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, what? Mar González, Pedro Almodovar. And it's funny because Pedro Almodovar is my neighbor.
Oh, really?
Not from the same building, but my neighborhood, and I will see him sometimes.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
I didn't tell Mark because I was...
Yeah.
I have no words and I couldn't speak English, so I was like, Pedro Almodovar, yeah. And then he kept skating with Rudy Johnson or something, and you see LA, and yeah, nice, man, it's amazing, Mar González.
That's pretty cool, wow.
Yeah, that's the first pro I saw. I mean, maybe the guys from Powell, but it was nice because he will hang out with us. No, it was not a demon. He will come at night, 11 in the night, and stay there and film and talk with us a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just being weird, pushing backwards. Like when you rewind I had it on film, man. I film it.
Mm-hmm.
If you rewind a tape backwards, people walk funny, right?
Yeah.
So he will skate like that. He was pushing Fakie, but not Fakie, backwards, you know, and only backwards and everything. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And like,
it makes sense that he would do that. Yeah, it's like
yeah, and he will skate with the two boards, you know, like he does sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that was really important for me to see that. I remember I hated school, right? I'm sorry to say this, but I must have some problems with the school. I don't know. It was hard for me to learn, right? But I still remember this day. I'm 46 years old now, but after that night when I skated with Mar González, he probably don't remember, you know. We was a few kids of us, he wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
But after that night, my next day in school, it was the best day. I was so happy in school too.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, it'd been nice, like, dude, that was amazing, you know.
Yeah.
Skating with Mar González, I couldn't believe it, you know. It was a really good day. The day that happened, also the next day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another one here from Julian Lorenzo.
No, yeah.
So he said, what are the common points between skateboarding and flamenco music?
Okay, good question. I think it's a lot of similarities when it comes to like, there is something that if you expecting to do that good, you really have to love it. There is not like, I don't like it, but I'm gonna do it good. In that sense, it's the same, you know? It's something that, even more flamenco, it's really from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe what you're saying when you're singing or what you're playing, it's not gonna come out the same way.
Yeah, the emotion is not there. And
yeah. And for skating, sometimes you need a little bit of that when you're trying a trick, and then sometimes you picture it right before and you got already the happiness of the feeling, and then you also like do it with some other different energy that they tried before, and that's when you landed it because you were really excited and believe in it. And it's a bit different, but also it's something, it can be a fun thing, you know, like it's not okay, you're gonna put 30 boxes in that corner. It's not boring. It's something like a hobby, you know?
Yeah.
Like something fun to do. So
Sure.
with that, they have that similarity as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it has some similarities. It's technical. It's a lot of technical.
Yeah,
Singing
yeah.
is different than playing guitar, man. Playing guitar is really technical. It's more similar to skating. Singing also, you have to do it from the heart.
Yeah.
But also, I think you can really learn. You have to have that gift when you were born, like did you know how to sing. But also you can learn more. Even if you have that gift, you can learn and be better. But
Yeah.
But guitar is very persistent. It's like you need to practice and you don't have to give up. It's really like skating as well, the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But there is something that is totally different, and that's why I couldn't do both at the same time.
Oh yeah, interesting.
One is skating, is outside, and be social and skate outside. And guitar is totally the opposite. You have to be inside and not talk to. You can talk about guitar and stuff, but when you want to learn, you want to be alone, and so you need a lot of time if you want to do both. That's why I couldn't do it. I told Dani sometimes, like, wow, it's nice, but you know, Dani, if you want to skate more,
you have to stop playing so much guitar.
Not a stop, but he was getting really serious about the guitar, and he did. He got a master and all that, and like. But I think now he just maintains. He still plays. But I think you need to learn these things. Myself too. We learn how it works now with the skating. Also, I skate different. I'm skating better sometimes than a few years ago because I don't have anything new all the time, and I don't get stuck. I skate better, you know. The bails are also not good. The bailing a trick and like it doesn't get too fun. It's good sometimes, but you shouldn't do that all the time. But I always knew that. So I told Federico sometimes, Feds, for example, I want to skate normal some days, and it was because I want to recharge that, like in the video game. What was it? The power, you know? Yeah. Because if you're only bailing, the trick, you get a little bit like, I'm not good, I don't like anything. Yeah. So sometimes you need to skate with some music, do some tricks that are crazy, but maybe they're not crazy for you because you already do them all the time, but they're good. Lines. But we need to learn that too, also with the guitar. But yeah, the similarities are some similarities, and then there is totally the opposite, like that. Like skating, it's outside, and guitar is inside the house, you know?
You mentioned Dani. We mentioned him a bunch throughout our conversation, but I have one question from Dani Lebron.
Yeah.
So he said, Jesus, when you were filming tricks that were never seen before, what were you thinking of? Just casual, or were you visualizing them the prior days?
Both. Yeah, normally it's at home when I think about these things.
Okay.
Sometimes it's skating, but you know, when I'm outside skating, I get distracted with a lot of people. Like, I'm always nice. People will tell me like, dude, shut up, start skating. Because even Dani, like, you go to the place and you talk to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, skate.
And then you don't skate.
yeah, exactly. I do that a lot.
Sometimes you hang out and you get caught up in conversations.
Yeah, but it's nice too. I like to.
Yeah, sure, of course.
People, you know? But I think those tricks sometimes I will think about it at home or anywhere else, but when I can think more, you know?
Yeah.
Or sometimes skating, I'm skating, but what about, like everybody else, you know, what about, but then when it comes to like, if I'm gonna do it or not, it's because I will try it and I was like, ooh, this seems like possible or like doable. Like, I don't wanna, I was really realistic. Sometimes I was more realistic than I shouldn't be, maybe because I could have done more things that I don't believe I was gonna do the Fakie treflip switch crook. Yeah. I saw my brother trying that before me, so I don't want to say that was my trick. My little brother was trying that, but he didn't do it.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna steal it from you and do it if you don't do it. So that was my secret. I steal
That's
some
the
tricks.
Secret. You steal tricks from me.
No, but if I can do a trick, why not? Like, no, that was my brother's trick. But of course, he learned that because I learned Fakie crooks from Guy Mariano.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Switch crook and especially Fakie crooks. Switch crook, a lot of people did it, but Fakie crooks, it was Guy.
That's
right?
definitely your trick now. Like I definitely associate you with Fakie ollie switch crooks, Fakie flip switch crooks. Like that's definitely a Jesus Fernandez move. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was learning those tricks, you know, from Guy, Fakie crooks, from Mouse, but then I was like, okay, now it's my turn to do. Let's put something extra on myself. Like, so I put kickflip into it. Mm-hmm. Fakie flip, and I don't know if somebody did it, but I didn't see no one, and I was like, I'm gonna do it too. I thought I was doing it first, you know. Mm-hmm. Again, I didn't thought I invented trick, but it was a combination. But I did that one. I also did one, but it was already done by Henry. Switch flip crooks.
Yep.
I did that one too, but I knew that one wasn't mine, you know.
But yours was on a rail too, right? And was Henry Sanchez's switch flip crook on a rail as well?
No, it was in a crusty ledge. That is just probably harder.
Yeah.
It was in beneficial gaps. That was, we used to call this spot. Not,
Jake Wan.
Yeah, Jake Wan. It's beneficial gaps, like Rudy said the other day, you know?
Yeah.
He did it there. Yeah. That was crazy. No, I did it also in a ledge first, not in a rail, of course. I did it in ledges and then... But the thing is, like, in Madrid, I will have to do it pop out because we didn't have the ends of the benches. Only one way. Mm-hmm. So if I want to do a trick this way, I will have to pop out. But that was good because I didn't know other thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but people was like, yeah, pop out, right? I was like, what did you do? Pop out. That's the only thing we knew because we couldn't, so we have to do it. Pop pop out. It was not an option, you know.
Yeah, you never. Yeah, interesting.
And then fakie flip crooks. So my brother learned also. Okay, my brother's doing fakie flip crooks, fakie half flip crooks, switch flip crooks. Soviets like guy also frontside Soviet switch crook. That was a guy's trick as well. He did it on Lockwood. But then my brother, when I went to LA, I came back and I was like, all the homies like, dude, your brother almost line fakie treflip switch crook. Also popping out, you know, because he was that way too. Then I talked to him and said, you have to do this, man. I said, yeah, but it's impossible. He just landed. He pretty much landed, you know. Then years after, this is way back.
Mm-hmm.
When I was still traveling going to film with Socrates and Julio de la Cruz and I was filming for a neighborhood, he was trying that already because he was learning a lot when we were not there. So yeah, he learned, he did that because of learning from the switch crook all the time. So he needed to do something also original for. So he didn't do it, and years after, I need to find tricks, man, for this fully flared thing. So I was like, I wasn't gonna do it, but I know what happened now. Talking to Feds, like, but your brothers are good too, right? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my brother, he almost did fake it with switch crook. And he right away was like, you should do it. And I was like, fuck, I'm not a fake it flip guy already. Also, I did fake it flip over the gap in Milan because Feds told me I wouldn't pick that trip in my life. I'm not. Now I know. Okay, I'm good at fake it flips or fake it flip crooks, but I didn't know.
It's not a trick that you liked necessarily to do before, yeah.
And also fake it flip in Milan, street gap, which is a small street gap.
You did a fakie hard flip as well, right?
Yeah, fake it hard flip as well. And a couple of the tricks, fake it flip and half a flip, but we didn't use it. I did a couple tricks that, Papalardo was trying fake it flip in that gap before me. And Feds told me to do it, but I was like, but Pops did it, come on, do it. So I was like, yeah, but I don't put a lot of effort in somebody else's trick, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I tried too, and it was working, but it was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard. I know it was hard. I think Pops, his knee was hurting when he tried, so he gave up.
Okay.
But Feds wouldn't let me give up, man. So I'm also like, I was already like, don't give up. Like I'm telling you a good lesson about. I was already like that, but Feds, it was more than me. So imagine the combination. It was a never give up thing, you know, like.
Yeah, it's a power duo right there. Okay, let's do the next question. This one is from Leonardo Bodelazzi.
Ah, yeah, Leo, yeah.
Yes, I'm not sure if he's in Copenhagen as well, but I've seen some footage of him skating with you in Copenhagen not that long ago.
He's back in LA now, but he was here, yeah.
And he skates for chocolate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he said, Yo Jesus, apampatillo.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to land fakie 360 crooks in Barcelona? Well, we've been talking about this for a while.
Again, exactly. But we didn't really say. We say it was a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot say. The day that I landed, it took me a couple of hours, but that's not the reality. It was more.
Yeah,
days,
because
and I didn't want to do it.
You went multiple times.
Yeah, in different towns and different. So it's a trick that it was always there from the beginning. Feds from we met. You have to do it, but we never really try, or we try. I feel it's so hard, and then I was always finding an excuse like this is not the spot, Feds. Like I was always. It's a hard trick, but it's to be honest, that was the only place where I could do it because it's popping out, but I have an entrance, if you know what I mean. I entered from the beginning like a manual pad. But it's still with an angle because I don't know how to do switch crook like not parallel, like straight like that, coming from the inside. So I will still have the angle, but that entrance helped me to be over, to not hit the. I tried without the entrance and it also worked, but it was a little bit mentally easier.
Yeah.
But it took me so long. It took me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know because it's different times, months.
It was a long time coming, like you said. Your brother was trying it for a while, and then you brought the idea back, and.
Yeah, but at the end it's worth it if you do it. If you don't do it, it's just like, oh my god, I tried that, so stupid. But if you land it, it's worth it.
Okay, this next one is from Kelly Bird. We mentioned him as well.
Yeah.
So he said, as his adult dad self, how would he react if Billy told him he was moving to South Central LA with his brother and friend to chase the skate dream, with a guy named Julio looking out for them?
I don't know. I wouldn't feel good because he's my son. But
yeah, you would be concerned.
Kelly is right. Yeah, he would. He has 2 kids now also, and I know what he means. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I felt safe all the time in South Central, but it's funny with the Julio thing as well. I felt okay, but you can be really unlucky as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There were shootings down there sometimes, you know, like machine guns, and not every day, but I saw it. I saw it through my window in the living room, like shootings and Uzis and these kind of things, you know. Not every day, but I saw it a few times. I live in front of the projects too, but it's funny because I will walk 2 blocks and I will be in the nicest university in Los Angeles with a nice fountain, USC blocks, with nice young ladies, young students, and it's all mixed. You don't know, but it's South Central, but the whole university thing is moved the area a little bit, you know, at least around that corners, you know. But yeah, you walk 2 blocks away and maybe you're in a crazy projects or like, and the more south it was more sketchy. I could see less taking care of the places, the more liquor store like ghetto kind of thing, you know. The grass where I live, from my house to USC blocks, I have to pass through the campus, but it's streets, it's normal streets, right? So everything was green with nice grass because in LA it doesn't rain too often, you know. So when it's green like that, it's because you have the water.
Oh yeah, it's water sprinklers.
Yeah, but if you go a couple of blocks down, everything is yellow and dry and a lot of trash in the floors. But it's right there. You can walk to that area. You don't need to get a car. So, but yeah, I wouldn't feel good, man. It really wants to go there without me as well, and
you would be worried. Yeah.
Yeah. In general, yeah. Sometimes I didn't want my mom to come to LA. She was gonna come, right?
Okay.
To visit my brother, and I told my brother, I was having an argument with him also, like, dude, why does she have to come? Can't you just go back and but it's because we were living there. If I was living in Beverly Hills, yeah, of course, let's bring her, and it's different. But when you are trying that, you feel in general, you know, like, I thought in general, like, it's dangerous, but it's not. I was never scared. I never looked behind my shoulder or nothing like that. But when it comes to my mom is coming here or like my son is gonna go there, then I'm like, but I wasn't never afraid or nothing.
Yeah.
It was a nice
but
place.
Also you went there with a dream and a goal of getting sponsored and making your way in the skate industry. And you were living, like, as you said, you were living with little money and like moving from apartment to apartment. And it was not like you had a nice house by the beach where your mother could have her own room. And
no.
Like
I was more
that.
like, it was good enough for us. But dude, every time I came back to Madrid, I was like, whoa, to my mom's. I was like, this toilet is really white, like you know, because, you know, our shit was like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then it was an impact, like, oh, my mom, she has everything like
so organized and clean.
Yeah. And you don't see that if you're there all the time, being comfortable at your mom's or something, you know, like.
Okay, this next one is from Nick Jensen, former Lakai teammate.
Yes.
So he said,
Nick.
Do you still practice flamenco guitar? And if so, can you give me a 15-second live gig?
Now?
Yeah. Do you have a guitar or?
It's probably out of tune. I'm gonna bring it and it's gonna sound so bad.
I'm sure he'll be happy regardless, yeah.
But I'm gonna answer him. I want to, it's in my head too, I'm gonna do it. But with the kids, it's really hard, man. Also, sometimes I'm thinking to buy a cheaper guitar because I bought this one when I was really into playing flamenco, right? So it's really expensive and really fragile, extremely fragile. Sometimes it feels like it's a piece of paper, you know, or cardboard. That it sounds like poof, really hollow inside, you know?
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
But it breaks so easy and the kids are running around and like they want to clap in the guitar so it was not the best idea actually.
Yeah. Okay.
To buy this, sometimes I'm thinking to sell it, you know, but I'm also sad because it was almost 2,000 euros, you know.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When I told people, they don't believe me. Like, what? It's not an electric guitar or nothing. And somebody make it. It's handmade from the south of Spain. It's really good. And the trees are from Brazil. And I mean, it's a really nice guitar. But it was 1,400 euros.
Okay.
Not 2,000, but it's expensive.
That's still a lot, yeah.
And the material is probably more expensive now because you can't even cut those streets. You're not allowed. It's illegal to cut those streets from Brazil. Palo Santo from Brazil.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I'm a poser now. I don't play it. I want to, but it's also I have to start from the beginning now. I haven't played. Sometimes I play flamenco, but sometimes I also listen to other things, with guitars involved. And I want to learn that one real quick. Or the other day I was watching The Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro and Michael Cimino. And it's a slow song about guitar, like really sad. And I wanted to try that. And these days you can go on YouTube and put that and you see a tutorial.
Yeah.
So the last time I grabbed it was for that, to try that song. Okay. But it was hard. It's easier than flamenco, but it was still hard and really,
But I guess it's like anything, like as you said, since you don't practice much anymore, you're a little bit rusty now. But if you got back into it and started practicing guitar a few times a week or something, you would probably get better at it very quick.
Exactly, because I knew a lot from before, so it would be easier. But it will take me a couple of weeks or some days to like. But also another things. I'm sorry, this is gonna sound disgusting, but I bite my nails a lot.
Oh, you bite? Okay, yeah.
I don't want to, but I do it, man.
Oh, and so for playing guitar, it's not that great, yeah.
It's not good, especially Spanish guitar, because it's not the pick, the...
Yeah, like, how do you call those? Like a guitar pick, yeah?
Yeah, it was okay if I want to play the theme song from Deer Hunter or some... I also like the guitar song from Video Days at the end.
Oh, yeah.
The Paris, Texas.
Yes, we talked about this with Greg Hunt.
Yeah, and I was like, I know that too, because I like that movie as well. Actually, I tried to make one edit of some tricks of me and my kids and with that song.
Oh, nice.
Of course, it's a tribute to Spike Jonze because he was inspired by that movie. But actually, you guys are mentioned that it was Mark's idea. I didn't know. I thought it was Spike.
Yeah, apparently it was, yeah. Well, that's what Greg said, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, but both. And then I could see, watching the movie, I could see like, okay, he got inspired about this too. A shot with Mark Gonzalez when he's crossing the street and then he get hit by a car.
Oh, yeah.
That's in Paris, Texas too. But I got the chills, man, when I was watching it. Like, okay, he also liked that one and got inspired by that. But that song also you can play with the
guitar pick.
Yeah, but you cannot play flamenco without nails. You need the nails.
Yeah,
long.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting when I remember Dani waxing the legs with his nails and the and the wax with his long nails.
Oh yeah,
and sometimes
playing the
if
guitar.
if he will break a nail, he will sound like a girl, like, no, my nail. But it was more like if you're skating and you fall your ankle, like, no, now I can skate.
Yeah, I can't play guitar anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Okay, cool.
Should I grab it to see how it sounds?
Go ahead, let's give it a try.
Just really quick. It's pretty bad, man, but I don't know how to tune it right now. Like I need something. But yeah, I don't know any whole song. This is like learning kickflips and some other techniques with this hand. And I try to learn all. I'm still missing a few. So it's not a song, but it's a base of something that in the flamenco they use. This palo is called palo. It's bulería.
Okay.
I'm out of everything. The time, it's awful. It's awful. But yeah, that was it, man.
Okay, I have just a few last ones.
Hi, Jesus. How are you? ¿Qué tal? So, hey, my question is, how did you feel when Lenny Kirk woke you up in the middle of the night? Maybe tell that story.
It's Nicky.
Yes, Nicky Walter.
Yeah.
You mentioned him earlier, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. We talk about all this stuff. So yeah, that was funny.
So Lenny Kirk woke you up in the middle of the night. How did that happen?
No, he was staying in our apartment by USC.
Oh, okay.
Near the projects and all that for a while. USC was a place where a lot of people will like just come to skate from everywhere as well, you know. Mm-hmm. Not like EMB or not even like Magba also. But it will be a place where people from the States will just go there from SF. So Lenny was there after a while. Lenny Kirk. After a while, because before he was an amazing skater, of course, but then he went to Nicaragua to help people, in missions, religious missions, to help people who needed it. And he learned Spanish and all that, and he was a really good skater. And I also, I like to skate with him because after skating with him for a couple of days, I will go faster when I skate, because he goes so fast.
Okay.
I like to go fast as well. For some tricks I can, if it's too technical, but I like to go, if I'm just gonna do a backside Tesla, I like to go fast also.
Yeah, it looks way better for sure.
Actually, I learned a lot I developed some tricks because of Lenny, actually, because he was doing those sweet slip slides on ledges, and it was an old trick.
Oh, yeah.
Lip slides were old tricks. They were not cool anymore, but Lenny was doing them in an aggressive way. The years after, I started doing those, switch flip out.
Yeah, you did a bunch, switch heel flip out, switch flip out, yeah.
Yeah, but before that, I would just do it like him, switch slip slide, in ledges, which is where you have to, it's not in a flat bar, it's easier probably. Maybe it's more scary for some people, but it's easier than in a ledge.
Mm.
But yeah, anyways, Nicky's question, right? I don't know, he woke me up in the middle of the night. I thought everybody was sleeping, So, and he was Jesus, really quiet, in the dark too. And he just pointed the sky to me, but all day he was think about God and all this and Christ and a little bit too much,
Mm.
Everybody can do their own thing if they want. If I would say that, I would just do it myself. I don't tell people to do it,
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that was his mission,
Yeah.
To communicate to the others or something from Christ But that was really scary because I was about to sleep and then Jesus in my ear. I thought it was a ghost almost. And then he just pointed up. And that's it. Think about it. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's hilarious. I have a quick last one from Nicky.
And I have one more question. Jesus, you're known to have filmed some pretty iconic skate tricks for videos, like fully flared or pretty sweet. And what's maybe your personal favorite clip that you got to film? Favorite clip or favorite trick that you got to film?
Okay, I'm gonna have to say two that I think, maybe if I remember, I will call you back. But maybe switch flip crooks in that rail in GR ride.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it's too much like me, I don't like it. When I look different, I like it more. It's normal. I think it's normal in people. And I don't skate rails. So I was skating a rail, and it was a nice trick that I learned from Henry Sanchez, and I'm really proud I did it.
Yeah.
And it was hard to do it, but not as the other one that I'm gonna say, Fakie, treflip, switch, crook. That could also be another one, both of those, but maybe the Fakie, treflip, switch, crook, I try so much that, I don't know. And it's also a ledge trick, but Federico was saying, no, sometimes a ledge trick is the last trick. Why not? Look at the guy. He did a switch pop sorbet, switch crook for the last trick.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? He was like, why not? It's actually amazing that it's a last trick, a ledge trick.
Mm.
But yeah, they both look nice,
Yeah.
It's different times, but maybe one of those.
Okay.
I like some others too, but yeah.
Okay, this one is from John Dahlquist from Gnarliest Gymnasium.
Yeah, John, yeah.
So he said, for those who don't know, Jesus has worked as a teacher and mentor at different skate schools or initiatives. I've had the privilege to have him with me at Gnarliest Gymnasium. One thing that stands out is his humble approach and patience as a teacher. Truly amazing and highly respected. In my mind, it has been mind-blowing to have a true legend in the game beside me in the classroom. I would have never guessed this would ever happen. Being one of the OG ledge skaters in the world, I'm curious of what you are looking for in the perfect ledge. Material, sound, length, height.
Nice, man.
Also, give us the top 3 ledges in the world. I hope to get you back to join in on a class soon.
Yes, man. Likewise. I actually wanted to hit up John soon. I did, but only message. We need to talk soon. Yeah, I'm gonna go visit him. I love to go there. He's the man. Yes, good question, man. Actually, yeah. Because some people, they offer me spots. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, they're sending you pictures of a spot or something. You should come skate here.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm picky, man. I'm really picky. I know what I like, and it's a good question. Actually, it's a nice question for people who skate and ledges, and so it's good. A lot of people offer me spots to show me spots, and they were marble. and I really hate it.
It's not your thing.
It's so bad, especially the Chinese ones with no holes, like really smooth with a lack on top. That is like you either die of so slippery, or you get stuck like crazy. I don't like that. It's so difficult to do a trick in those. I mean, you can choose tricks for those ledges, and it's okay, but you need to know, okay, this one is good for blinds, but those fine materials, it's fine for the eyes, for the look, or for like cleaning or something, cleaning it after eating. But some of those spots are not really good for skating, those marbles.
Yeah.
I think granite is the best for the type of skating that I like. Granite, like Magba.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Magba was good. It was hard at the beginning. It was rough, but now it's good. When the granite gets the metal of the truck in it, and it looks like a little bit silver already, and it's a little bit rounded and waxed, it's really good. But yes, those kind of materials are good. The concrete, the hard concrete, not the one that it breaks easy. I think not concrete. It's called granite, actually.
Yeah, granite. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stone, and
I think Left Park is granite.
Yeah, like that. But of course, there is some other granites than grind. But when I went to Love Park, it didn't grind so good. But compared to what I knew, of course. I grew up skating metal, but I grew up skating both. In Colón Square, where I grew up, it was metal benches where I did the Fakie hard flip and all those, Fakie flip cruise. But there was also some weird white marble, but kind of like granite. There is a good marble. The Italian marble is good. The white one from the statues,
Oh, yeah.
It looks almost like concrete, but it's still some kind of stone or marble. Or like the Fontana de Trevi. Can you imagine that?
Oh, yeah.
White marble. Oh, my God. That sounds like amazing. The Fontana de Trevi ledges. No, but that's good. I'm talking about the materials. That's good.
Of course, yeah.
But then the marble from China is not good. The granite from China maybe is good. The granite from China. But the marble from China, like maybe dark green, almost black. That is like almost like a mirror. You see yourself if you put that's not good. It could be good, but I don't know. It's so hard to skate those. It's a nightmare. It was a nightmare for me. For Teslas, you get stuck and then you grind and it's too much. And then Smith grind, you break it. I don't know. It's not for me. Those granite, I think, is good.
What about like the height and length that John mentioned? Do you have like a favorite height for ledge skating?
Of course, but depends on the trick,
Yeah, for sure.
Depends on the trick. If I was gonna try Fakie, treflip, switch, crook, I like a little lower one because it's hard to
get it up there.
Exactly, but only for that But it depends what you use with one trick. If I like taller ledges, sometimes for me, and some kids don't understand this. When I was teaching skating as well, they were trying this maybe kickflip back tail on a ledge or back tail, or Smith grind. Smith grind is a good sample. And they will try these really low ledges, and it's harder, man. It's way harder.
Yeah, because then you don't have much space between like your front truck and the
exactly.
ground.
You need to leave the nose down. You pull the truck up to do the Smith grind, the backside Smith grind. You do like a shifty ollie, sort of no hand melancholic. Those, You're gonna ollie lower than the ledge to put that truck up, only the back truck. And a little bit in front of your head, not behind your head, because then you don't grind. So you put it in front of you a little bit, and you don't massive ollie to that, So that's hard to do in a small ledge. So sometimes it's really easy to do a back Smith grind in a higher ledge. I like high ones for that, and I like lower ones for if I do nollie kickflip back tail on a ledge. I really like really small one, I really like that trick, nollie kickflip back tail as well. I always like that trick.
What about the length? Do you like when you have a shorter ledge or like an extremely long one, like the Macba one that's on the top and going all through it? Or
it's nice to have a long one because then you
can do lines.
You can do lines, or you don't excitate with the time, like you do it when you feel like. But also, it can be confusing sometimes too. I don't know if it doesn't really matter. Depends on the trick. I think I like a short one, Pier 7 sort of. If you're gonna try. I don't know how to do backside nose plants in the middle like that, so I would like to have a short one for that. If I was gonna try a back nose plant, but I think I don't care. But whatever it is,
Okay, let's do the very last one.
Hi, Jesus. So I get to ask you a question, and it's really quite hard to think about something that I haven't asked you already or that we've somehow talked about. But I'd like to ask you, because I think we talk a lot about sometimes how we find it difficult, like this transition that we've made these last years, moving to Copenhagen, and how we miss Spain, and how it's difficult for maybe especially you being a foreigner here, the language, the weather, the people sometimes also. So I'd like to ask you to name or think about the 3 things that you love the most about our life together here in Denmark. Thank you.
Nice.
So that was your wife, Marie-Louise, we say in French? Marie-Louise, yes.
Yeah, exactly. What a
Does
surprise.
she have French origins? Because like Marie-Louise sounds very French.
It sounds very French, right? No, but I think there is, in Denmark, there is a culture of names, like really international. You know, they have really Danish names.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the original Danish names, but they have some, they use, if you can say it like that, a lot of international names.
Okay.
American names also too, like the simple ones. That's why our kids, Eddie is normal here, or Billy. But Marlies is, I think it's Danish, the way they spell it too, with the score, you know, in the middle, Marie-Louise. But she's from here, and their parents are from here, Denmark. Okay, the 3 most is them. The 3 persons, you know.
Yeah, your kids and
your
wife. So
my kids and my wife and our dog, also Smooth, but he's staying with our parents-in-law for now. But yeah, and now I didn't say before, I was saying it's tough to be here and stuff, but I wanted to say, but I wanted to make this quicker. But yeah, it's very nice. Also, the skaters that I'm hanging out with, and Hjalte and all that, and Ville Vesta. If it wasn't for them, I will be, but I don't see them enough, you know. It will be nice to meet more often, because then also you get antisocial when you don't see them for months, you know. And but everybody else is the same. It's something normal here. I mean, they maybe put a little bit more effort and meet and go to brokeries and move more, but I'm also older, but.
Yeah, and you have kids. I mean, it's I guess everything. I don't have kids, so I don't know of experience. But I assume it's a bit harder once you have kids too.
A bit harder.
Yeah,
but also you get something.
You're always extremely busy when you have kids, so it's hard to find the mental space, you know, to do anything else than taking care of your family, basically.
Yeah, but you get always something in return, you know, and
of course.
But yeah, that's another nice thing. The people here, and they will always. I will always agree with them. We see things, sometimes I share the same thoughts or opinions about something, and I agree with some skating of somebody who feels like this way, or like with kids from here, younger kids too, or older or younger, even more than with my own friends from Spain that they don't know what I'm talking about. So it's also, I don't know how to explain, but yeah, there is something I really like about the crew here, the skateboard community as well, and also outside of the people are nice here in Denmark in general, and they're nice to speak English to you and all that, like, and they're really open. Of course, in summer is extra, you know, and in winter, it's just more like, I'm freezing. See you next time, or like. But yeah, that's also another good thing, and I really felt really welcome. Maybe because I knew them before I moved here. I knew them a little bit, you know, from Copenhagen Open, or they knew me from Fully Flare or something, you know. Frederick Benson is the distributor of
yes, I see.
Of chocolate and Lakai, and we are really good friends now. Also,
I've been in touch with him on Instagram here and there. Yeah, he seems like a rad guy.
Yeah.
There's a cool scene in Copenhagen for sure. It looks like a fun city, fun scene. Yeah.
So that helps me a lot. That helps me definitely.
Yeah, let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much for taking so much time out of your day to talk with me.
It's a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me.
That's it for my conversation with Jesus. Follow him on Instagram at Jesus Fernandez _77. Do yourself a favor and go watch or rewatch some of his iconic video parts from the last 2 decades in Lalaland, the LA County video, Yeah Right, Fully Flared, Pretty Sweet, The Flare, Bunny Hop, and more. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon for a new episode of Beyond Boards.